What up, chat? How you guys doing? Can you guys hear me all right? What up, Mr. Papa Giorgio? Loud and clear, beautiful. What up, Miss K, JB, IAG, Be Creative, Trade WAP, Diana, Victoria, Jeepers Creepers, Jim Bob, Mick. I can't even read the end of that. What up, brother? Mark PT, Gandhi, Rabin. How y'all doing? Gael. Every day. What up, Ron Guavis? What up, Elevated? Calm. Ake. Aaron. Let's switch the scenes real quick. Back to Shorty NQ. I could see it. I want to see how ES reacts to that 74.20 area. That's like my main pivot that I want to watch. Jake called top, Mitch called bottom. Yeah, I was on Mitch's stream. I actually longed near the lows on Mitch's stream. Part of it I executed horribly on, but then the other part I held a little bit. So it was kind of worth it, but also kind of not. Gold keeps teasing you. Dude, gold's teasing everybody. One thing that I actually longed to intraday, based off intraday relative strength, was the YM. Because near the lows, it was a good divergence. As you look back here, ES was tickling lower consistently, right? Just hitting new lows. NQ hitting new lows throughout this whole area, even back over here. And then RTY was hitting new lows as well. What was happening with the YM? It was actually holding rather well. And I longed somewhere in this end of consolidation area, but I didn't hold till up here. I got out like here, unfortunately. I was looking for a home run, but it's also why I got out, because I was looking for a home run. I know Jake called out to be watching YM. I was stalking YM. I'm still stalking YM, but I'm being patient about it. Because you have to remember, what's the number one thing we kind of wanted from my streams this week was just range, right? On a broader scale, I said I feel like this week can be trickier to trade for most. And I would agree so far it probably is. Because we've had larger reversals. What up, Pram? How you doing? What up, Bella? But just looking at the daily chart in general, all we've done is range. I will say if one's going to rip, the YM still gets my interest. And that could honestly be towards either direction, longs or shorts. The daily, though, I really like the outside bar. The problem is it failed to go lower and failed to go higher. So that's kind of like, all right, what do you do there? Yeah, where you're just stuck, Victoria. How you doing, Prim? I'm feeling a lot better than yesterday. Because yesterday, obviously, I mentioned the nicotine shit was just kicking my ass. I feel great today. I woke up feeling like better than I have probably in the past 4 months. Because most of the time, especially in the first 4 weeks of doing this podcast, the second I'd wake up, it was nicotine and caffeine until the second I went to bed. So now that I kind of cut a majority of that off, I feel great. What up, Joe? We do have a really interesting setup today, primarily because we have oil seeing a really strong rally all the way up into 101.5, which has been our big daily pivot. And we're slamming that again. So I really want to see how we react to this over the next few days. Turned on into an addict is my bad. Jake, I've been an addict for fucking years on nicotine. I would just use it as an excuse to stay up super late and do whatever I wanted. What form of nicotine do you consume? I don't anymore. That should be in the wrong MM. Jake, the problem is if I do an MM, I'm probably gonna bring nicotine back just because it makes you dial. Yesterday I felt so out of focus, but today I feel fine. Do you think shorting looks good? I think either direction can look good today because you have to remember, zoom out. We're in a range, brother. This is a market where we can go either way. Any point in this, we can go either direction at all. Because RTY is looking to set 4-hour lower high. ES is looking to see if it sets a 4-hour lower high. NQ is looking to see if it sets a 4-hour lower high. YM's trying to break the range, which has my interest. That's why if I long, it'll be the YM. But I do have little areas that I marked out on ES, which is going to be this like 415 to 417. And on the YM, it's 820s to like 840s. I want to see how we react to those. Because if we lose those, I feel like shorts could easily be the play. But if we hold those, it could be a really long dip buy opportunity or a really nice dip buy opportunity. Cole, I was just doing the pouches. How did you kick nicotine? The only way I quit doing things is cold turkey. And that's why it sucks. That's why like the last 2 days kicked my ass. Cause I went from doing it, not even joking, when my eyes were awake, I had nicotine in until I went to bed. And I just cold turkeyed it. I ran out, decided I didn't want to go back to the store to buy some, and that was it. We'll see how long I do it. For now, it's just my goal is one more day. Just don't do it tomorrow. Don't do it. Once it's tomorrow, don't do it the next day. CZP, I tapered down to 3 milligram, then I just started putting 2 or 3 in at a time. So it fucked the whole process up. There's always a loophole. Do you only trade Asia, by the way? No, Pram. I trade any time session that I like. So I traded New York intraday today. I didn't trade the open. I traded the end of day session. I traded around where Mitch was trading. Was my main time slot today. Basically, when the rally started, I was trading. But no, I didn't trade the open. I saw the short, thought it was a really, really good short. I missed the initial entry. I'm not going to lie. I sat here and stared at this retest, the open right here, and thought it would be the greatest entry for a possible short if we break. It was the entry. I didn't take it. And then I just stared at the chart as it went lower. Because at that point, I knew if I entered and I executed poorly after missing that, it just wasn't going to go well. And Europe, 15 milligrams like the standard. Dude, I know Europe is crazy. Europe has like 25 milligrams and other crazier amounts. My YouTube channel dedicated to that. I don't drink coffee or energy drinks fueled by life. Victoria, I used to only drink 1 cup of coffee a day, and people would be like, how do you go to the gym? I would say it's just my inner demons getting me through the workouts. Some people will understand it. Others would be like, dude, what's wrong with you? Me personally, if I want to quit, I should pause trading for a while. That's fair. Nah, Cole, I would crash immediately. Like I said, I want to see how ES reacts to this 15 to 17 area. Once we get down there, that's when I really gain my interest in trading. Why? Because if you zoom out, it's kind of the pre-market pivot and right around the open area where we initially rejected. So I want to pay attention to how we react to that. If we do break it, I think we can start to repeat what we did today. Ake, I would never quit trading. But the thing is, like, nicotine would keep me up as much as caffeine would. So I would just rip it until 3, 4 in the morning and then go right to bed. But it's more so I don't like being dependent on things. So if I stop taking it and I get fucking withdrawals, then I'm like, all right, yeah, it's got to chill. I used to take pre-workout, but it makes my skin crawl. That's fair. It's all at nice, and though you can just get low, nice, and pre. Yeah, WAP. I do. Are we gonna go down tonight or short squeeze? A6. I don't. If we rally in this market, I wouldn't call it a short squeeze. Because if you look at the daily chart, ES has a daily fair to go lower at all-time highs. For me, a short squeeze is down here where we break new lows and then just absolutely pivot aggressively. But me say like up here, I'm not saying short squeeze because we're at all-time highs. But no, we held a really big support intraday. So I mean, I had full expectations of us getting back up towards the open. I didn't expect us to rip into the 435s, but I'm not like, oh my God, it's unexpected. We're at all-time highs. We're in a daily range. We're sitting in the range. We're just trading that range. The recovery was crazy. NQ, I would actually say, wasn't as crazy because NQ was the third least strong index. ES made new highs on the day. YM destroyed its highs, broke into yesterday's highs. Well, no, broke above the prior day's highs, while NQ never even got close, like remotely close. I believe NQ might be this weaker. Yeah, NQ is a weaker daily close because it did close below the previous day's lows. Where YM closed near the highs and ES did get back above the prior day's lows. So there was a lot of divergence intraday for sure. But NQ was a lot weaker. And it's kind of what I want to see. Up here, I want to see NQ get a little bit weaker, carry some of the relative strength, because that'll tell me the main names that have been carrying the entire stock market are cooling off a little bit. At that point, then I'll be really interested in longing because we can look for that sector rotation to keep the market floating. Yeah, Seymour, I took the YM long towards not like the end of the day, but when Mitch was on stream. Probably around like 1:30-ish, wherever it was down here. Might have been here. I was in around like this somewhere. Cause like I was in at 5:39. What up, Christian? What up, 44? There's probably a few of you saying what's up that I missed, but I'm just trying to get through, making sure I don't miss anything. How long ago did you start trading? I think it was either January 28th or February 2nd, 2021. So like right around, I think it was right after the whole meme craze between AMC and GME that it does like that. It was like right after that I started. Fuck, 2011. That's brutal, brother. Dominic, I would have to look in and add all the years together. I don't know the exact total. I always just say enough to pay my bills because trading pays my bills. But enough for me to live, and that's what matters. Because this is my main source of income. So can't complain. Evening, Luke. Someone else said evening. What up, Sam? How long have you been profitable? It was like just after 2 years, a little after 1 year of taking the mastermind. After I took the mastermind, I knew exactly what I was doing, but I've been fighting psychology shit since I started trading because I was a complete degenerate. What up, bro? The action seems now seems slow after trading this morning. Yeah, Sam, you got to remember what session we're in, dog. You got to remember what session we're in. This is the Asia session. This isn't New York. We're not going to see this type of volatility right out the gate. There will be days when we do. But normally when we see a very volatile New York, Asia is going to be the cool off. And it sucks. It does. The first 2 hours-ish will usually be the cool off, which I didn't even mark the opens. So hang on. Let me do that real quick. Is that here? Yeah. All right. There we go. Yeah. So right around the ES open is the area I'm interested in. Slightly below, though. 2011, is it just like over trading? Because that's the only other thing I would assume would be the issue if it's not sizing. But no, I mean, I can see this week being tough. I said in the beginning of the week on Sunday, I expect this week to not be easy for a lot of people to trade. And that is just my full anticipation for it. Even CPI, everyone's like, oh my God, CPI should break the market one way or the other. It didn't. Did it give a clue that we were likely going to trend down a little bit? Yeah, and we did. But then we held. I'm fighting DGen mode. Wanted DGen so bad when I hit my daily loss limit, but I walked away. Smartest thing to do. I've thought about straight up just turning on, like if we get more volatile, I'm tempted to just turn on, not even like DGen hours, but just trade evals. But I'm also open to trading my fundeds, which I should probably at least log into a broker. That should tell you my initial expectations. I haven't logged into my broker yet. So we're getting there. Should probably at least start it. So if something sets up, we got it. That would have sucked. If we do break below the open and ES gets below like 15, we have a decent amount of room to trend lower. And one area of interest to me would be this like 403, 404. Where's the no trade zone? I would like to see us either above last week's highs, which is 27, or below 17. I wouldn't even say it's a no trade zone though, because I'm open to taking potential longs off this area if I think it's going to hold. So it's more so just like the lower expectation zone because this hourly looks fine. The only thing is we don't necessarily have to test down here because we did sweep the hourly lows at the open. So we don't have to test that, but I would like to see it at least test. I just want to sweep this pivot because that is quite literally the pre-market area. But we technically did test the general area, and I hate using things as like finite zones or areas, so we might hold. I was kind of hoping ES would get down here, YM would get down here to kind of target these areas, and then we look to see if it holds. Are you trading TPT accounts this week since they are half off? No, I actually don't. I've still yet to trade TPT, which is crazy because I am giving away another TPT account. Well, Jake's giving it away, but I'm giving it away. You know what I mean? We're giving away another 50K TPT account tonight. So that giveaway will happen later on, likely towards the end of the stream. That could be near hour 2, near hour 3. I don't know. Whatever I get near ending stream. But that will be drawn tonight. Have you ever traded metals? Mark, so far, me and metals just don't get along. If I trade gold, I either execute poorly or it stops me out. There's no in between. I don't know if it's psychologically at this point. I just do not trade gold well. I don't. I'll get there. I'll get more familiar with it. It's just when I trade it, it's usually like the worst times. I can tell you though, if you guys want gold to make a really nice move, you don't want me in it, but you want me talking about it and talking about how nice the setup is. Because those of you that have been here for a while know if I'm talking about how nice the gold setup is, it's about to rip 40 points. If I get in it, it pulls back. Did Jake get his tacos? Most likely. Knowing Jake, yes. Trade Bob, 2003 micros is perfectly fine. What I would do in that case is just look for trade evade because then it's $50 margin per ES micro or 100 per NQ micro. Gold, I think, is 1 or 200. So you'd be fine trading any of them. Are we still going to full port on those cheese futures? I think that's during the Tradeify Grand Cup is when we full port the cheese futures. Open stream, full port cheese. leave for the week and come back and see what happens. Honestly, I'm sizing too aggressive. I've longed 8 micros after being up 2K and the New York Ribs. Fastest 3K I've ever seen, but yeah. Yeah, what up, Kev? Yeah, 2011. It seems like it's one of those markets. The problem with this market is when we range sideways, there's a lot of opportunity. A lot of people will look at the daily chart when we're making moves like this, and the second they miss a trade, they'll think opportunity is gone. But when we're getting more volatile back and forth price action, they see a lot of opportunity. So they end up looking for more trades throughout the entire day. I caught myself trying to do that today, but I was like, no, I'm done. Papa Giorgio, that's in the past, brother. You got to leave that one in the past. What up, AXP, my dude? How you doing? What up, Voltru? Where's Omar? He's the gold whisperer for a while. Omar and then Spencer. Spencer's been on occasionally, but I miss my man Spence. He was on every single day on Discord. Now he's not. He's on to bigger and better things without me. So today's the day to yeet gold. I don't know, dude. When you trade gold, I counter trade you. Joe, honestly, most people, I'd be like, oh, you must be trolling. No, I respect it. Wholeheartedly, I respect that entire thesis. I can't disagree. If it was like ES, I'd be like, all right, that's a little fucked. But when you're saying it's gold, I respect it. Deal. Probably works in your favor. Oh, I know you're trolling. But it's funny because in Discord, I used to tell people because I used to have a problem. I would enter a trade on options and it would dip like 15, 20% immediately. So I would tell people wait 20 minutes and then look to get an entry. And they would wait 20 minutes, get a better entry than me, and then it would rip. Today, the day we eat gold. Here's my thing. Like, does gold look good? And we drew this trend line yesterday, and it's still respecting it. Gold has a lot of potential. But gold is one of those charts where it's just when. And with how poorly I trade gold, I'm not going to try the when. What I would like to see though is more of a consolidation here, right? Because we did just rip higher, build me a consolidation. Yes, this is technically going on 3 hours. But if you look at the 4 hour, we haven't even given one candle. Give me at least one 4 hour candle, then maybe during the later overnight or tomorrow, I'd be interested. I'm not overly interested in longing this right now, but I see the potential and opportunity in gold. I just personally don't think it's there yet. And I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I miss it. If I'm right, I save a lot of headache. Looking for gold after OPEX. Yeah, AXP. I feel like a lot of the indices, like people are going to look at them and be like, oh my God, this looks great for a continuation. And we're at that phase where a lot of people get caught because we go from a market that you buy or you sell, whatever it is, and you get that continuation. Now all of a sudden we're range bound to where you're not necessarily getting as much continuation as you want, unless you get a godly entry like end of day longs or early morning shorts. And they get caught because they don't get that overall continuation they want. You get the pullback. I mean, it's just heavy data week, OPEX. It's what the week brings. What up, FAT? How you doing? Do you ever tilt anymore? Of course. Of course. I just don't tilt on stream. I'm at least smart enough not to do that. No, I tilt. Yeah. It's not all that often. Mine mainly just come from poor execution. Like if I take a trade and just execute absolutely horribly or get out because I use too much size and then it rips, I get irritated. Because I one probably shouldn't use that much size, or two should have just let the trade work and not worried about being like overly fixated on the price action in the trade. But no, I'm not perfect. I still have tilts. Beautiful AXP. Yeah, I caught a little bit of YM longs. Yeah, wild side. You'll notice over time, not every trade is held super long, but a majority of the time, if we're in a trade, unless you're trying to scalp, you're likely looking at least an hour long hold. The problem is though, if we catch like a really nice trade, I'm holding for 12 hours plus. So that's kind of my mindset. I'm either looking for something that's maybe an hour, or I'm looking for at the larger picture, looking to hold fully overnight for like a 12-hour perspective. Funded Next now has flex plans. Is Jake affiliated with them? I don't know. I truly don't. I would have to look. I've never used Funded Next. Easiest thing to do would be go to was it tools.rt or toolsrt.com and see. Yes. So Jake is Funded Next Futures. It's on there. If you do exclamation point prop, it'll give you that website to look at to see what prop firms Jake's affiliated with. I think there's one or two that aren't on there that he's affiliated with. So we do have ES down around the open. Gold's making a little attempt here. What's oil doing? Oil is below the open. It's just like 17 to 15 area I want to see. Yeah, ZP. I've done that a few times with YM. YM's shockingly the one name that we've caught like the bigger trades with on stream. And I haven't done it with the other ones yet, which is weird because usually YM's like one of the last charts I trade. Yeah, Bram, 100% you can. And that's the whole like question. I mean, like Jake in general will probably talk about it at some point. I don't think we're worried about it now for like the individual stream supports. At some point, we'll probably monetize, but it's just not something we're overly interested in. But yeah, you can if you like genuinely want to do it, or if you're buying funded accounts. If you're a prop firm trader, you can always do it that way as well. Just use code RAKERRT. But yeah, all you have to do is do. So it'd be exclamation point that or that it should show the link, and then you're going to use code stream at checkout. Gets you 50% off for the cheapest. And then let me do this so that way it's easier and you can click it. I'll just paste the actual link. But no, we appreciate any support, brother. You don't have to, but we genuinely appreciate it. It means a lot. Gives a big range between yesterday and today. Agreed. No, Sabir, in it's the thing. There was one CPI when people used the eval trick to where you long and short it with orders right outside in a bracket and you pass all your evals. They did good on one of them, and now every degenerate in the world tries a strategy and blows up on CPI because all it does is range. But no, a lot of the news right now, I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, if you have more of a fundamental background, I feel like a lot of the market based data in news is priced in. Well, we don't. So in that case, we don't really care about it. I mean, we do, but we don't, right? Because it's kind of priced in. But what's not really priced in is the total outcome of the overall war with Iran. Is like the perspective that I'm currently getting based on the market. Because we move on the littlest tweets about stuff going on in the Middle East, but most of the data we're just sideways. Big earnings, big data, all of it. I feel like that's kind of just priced in. What up, Connor? How many trades a day do you take? RJ, I focus per session. And that's how I like to do it. And I'll rotate between indices or not indices, funded accounts or evals. Just that way I don't continuously trade one throughout the entire day. But I usually look at 2 per session. So, like, on Asia, if I absolutely love the chart, I'll take 2 at most, sometimes 3. I usually don't do more than that. And then let's say I'm planning on staying up for London. I'll trade maybe 1 or 2 throughout that time period, and then New York, I'll do that again. YouTube, because if I like a chart and a setup, and let's say I'm not overly busy that day outside of trading, this is my career. Plus, I'm obsessed with it. I have a genuine passion for doing it, for staring at charts and watching candles move for no reason. But to just keep my head like level headed, I just rotate between indices. Now, I'm not trading every single session all day. I'm not trading 12, 15 trades a day. And oh, why do I rotate accounts? So that way it's basically like diversifying risk or overall returns. Last thing I want to do is do really well during the Asia session on an account and then try to make more on that account in London and go back to break even. Then I kind of try to make some on that account in New York. And let's say I go red or barely green. So at that point, I'm putting in more hours to where I may not see the actual returns. So at that point, I'm just going to go to another account. Log the day, lock the profits, leave it on that account, and just go to a new one. Because if I make the money, I still technically make it. It's just not on that account. It's on a different one. And that's my whole perspective on it. Alan does it in a very similar way. I love the big ranges. Nice to have a ranging day. But to have a day when you can hold in both directions is nice. Agreed, Victoria. I love days where there's broader ranges. I really don't like days where it's basically like Friday, where it's this kind of range. I hate it. I like days that are like today's range because there's a lot of opportunity there. Let's say you missed the very initial short off the open. We then retested the open. You missed that one. We got another entry there. You missed this one. You get another entry there. There's a lot of opportunity on these ranging trending days. And then back to the upside, there's just endless opportunities for potential longs for that overall continuation. What trade are you in, Bruce? I'm in nothing right now. I'm waiting, being a little patient. I would like to see us below essentially like 16 on ES if I'm going to short. For longs, I would like to see a test of that back over the open, then I would gain interest. Right now, though, NQ does look weaker than everything else. It is below the open, retest the open multiple times. If I'm looking to short, NQ might be more interesting, especially if we do start seeing the market rotation. How do you deal with tilts? I mean, in the moment, you either recognize it or you don't. If you don't recognize the tilt when it's happening, you're gonna tilt. You're gonna fuck up. You're gonna make mistakes. At the end of it, you got to come back and realize what caused it. Why did you like genuinely fuck up? What signs did you kind of miss that led to it? And it's to me, it's something that happened. I get more irritated that I let myself do it after doing it than like the fact that I actually tilted in general. It's more so that I like let myself get to that point in trading because you never should. But if I feel it coming on, most of the time I'll just get up and walk away for a little bit. Close charts, close brokers, don't take a trade for like, even if it's 15 minutes or an hour or just the rest of the session. Because to me, if I have any sense, and you guys have seen it, like when I was on sub 4 hours of sleep, I told the entire chat, I'm not trading today. Because if I poorly execute, there's a higher probability I tilt. In that situation, I'd rather just not put the risk on. Even if I can make money, even if there's an A plus trade, if I think there's a chance I'm going to, I'm not going to do it. 100% it causes tunnel vision. Best thing to do though is if you can tell it's coming and you're gonna tilt, which if you can tell it's coming and then you just do it anyway, kind of crazy, but I've done it before. Is I just like go to an eval. Yeah, Sabir, I mean, I personally don't use the lockout features. I just hit the exit button on my broker. What up, Cotty? Gandhi, what trade are you in? I see. I'll probably hold this trade into London. I didn't see you mention what you got in. No, AK, I mean, the uncertainty of trading is kind of what got me into it for the most part. I hate, even though like it's nice having a, not even a luxury life, but more of like a stable life where you know the exact amount you're making every week. You know that your bills are going to be paid. You know you'll have this much. You can set like a proper exact budget that you can follow. I don't really love living by that life, as delusional as it sounds, because it's more like a comfort aspect where I have no problem being uncomfortable. And that kind of got me more interested into it. The reason I used to quit a lot of my other, so for me, I like the aspect of it. Are there months or weeks where I do bad and I'm like, holy shit, I didn't just lose money. I now didn't make any and I'm down astronomically? Yes. But that's why I always recommend most people have at least some sort of supplemental income on the side that can pay your bills if needed. But no, it's not meant for everybody. Like people don't have to be a full-time trader. I have my brother or my buddy's brother. He is very like budget oriented. He knows where every single penny of his entire existence goes. And he already has his entire retirement planned. And he's like 25. If he loses, like if his long-term portfolio goes down 1%, he starts tweaking out. And I'm like, I know he's not built for trading full time because people aren't. Not everybody's meant for it. You have to be delusionally optimistic to be able to make it in this career. And that's just my perspective on it. Obviously, you can do that, or you can be very, very statistical and like analytical and make it that way. But for me, it's just delusional optimism. Eric doesn't want to be a horny bear, but GC below OP 4663 is calling your name. Let me start a poll real quick. Because I'm kind of tempted to enter. I want to see you guys' perspectives, what you're feeling. Yeah, Sarah, I feel like you have to be delusionally optimistic to be in trading because if you're even the slightest bit pessimistic, you're never going to make it. Just because you can't really be like if you get in every trade and say, "Oh my god, this is not going to work," or "I'm going to get stopped out every single time you get in a trade," you're going to have an absolutely miserable time. So I just feel like you have to be delusionally optimistic in a way. Best feeling ever when you know it's tilt and you pass an eval. ZP, I actually view that the complete opposite. I don't want to pass an eval when I'm tilting because then it's just reinforcing bad habits. If I pass one, sick, cool. I got like a little reward for it. But for me, I do not want to reinforce the bad habits there. Because then next time I tilt, I'll be like, I'll just throw this into the wind. But I do prefer, if I'm tilting, to do it on evals. What software do you use for charts? I use TradingView for charts. For trading, I use Trade8. So two completely different brokers. Cotty, hell yeah, brother. See, that's why I like to do it. And you'll get those times when you're rotating through accounts and one account just is your kryptonite. Where you'll have two accounts, you consistently do well on it, and that one account, every time you trade on it, it just gets whacked. But it's good. If that happens, it means the other ones are doing well, and that one's just taking the sacrifice. But I think that's one of the better ways to trade prop firms. Like even Jake does it. If he does really well on a prop firm, what's he do? He immediately goes to either a different funded account or he'll go to evals and start trading those instead because he doesn't want to risk the capital he's already made. So we have some of you saying MGC long, some of you saying MG or GC shorts. Interesting. Joe, I agree. And a lot of people really struggle to hit that little X button at the top of their broker to get out of everything. Someone's not as strong as you. Yeah, ZP. That's why they created the lockout feature. But then you actually have to go in and lock yourself out, which a lot of people aren't going to be able to do. We're at this area that I want to keep an eye on. Main reason I want to keep an eye on it now is if we don't hold this. Because also, if you zoom out and look at this, and the reason why I marked it, if I take this and slide it, oh, hang on, let me fix that. If I take where'd it go? Right here, got it. If I take this and actually slide it all the way back, you can see how well we respected this all the way back in May 10th. So that's just the broader area I'm watching. If we get back below that, I feel like we trade within this range and that opens a decent amount of room to the downside. So we're at a really big area of interest for me right here on the indices. Nice, Daniel. Nice little 60 points. You got 170. So did you catch this little 5 minute? At least somewhere around there? Yeah, Omar, you can see reasons for a lot of stuff, especially on gold with the long or the short. Right now, longs I wouldn't even say they're prevailing. You guys are just sideways. We're just slow rolling everybody on gold right now. All right, let's see if we break this area now or if we hold it. What's oil doing? Oil's still below its open, but overall, trying to hold. Dollar, not open yet. Let's see. What's the two look like? Two's fine. Not a lot of volume yet, though. 15 closes in 5 minutes. How far away from the prior low? So we're going to want to wait. If we do hold this area, it could do something kind of like this. Wait, what the? Hang on. Wrong one. Kind of like this, in which we look to break it. But if we do break here, what are we doing? We're setting more of a 15-minute lower high right here, breaking that low, and because of how we rallied today, there's not much resist or much support. I'd be looking at like 404 to like 402s if we break. At least for the first area of interest. No bias for me yet. Agreed, Joe. That's saying right here, if we do break this, I lean more bearish. But if we hold it, then I'm like more neutral. Like, all right, where are we going to go from there? Good evening, certified. What's your method to stop over trading? Patel, the easiest one, and it's tough, but you take your mouse and you just hit that little X up here on your broker. I mean, it's literally the only way to stop over trading. You just have to force yourself to get up and get away. Close the broker, close the screen, and go do something else. Find something to keep you busy. Bad habits kill me because they worked in the past. Always. I think everything's going to work out. It backfires sometimes. Yeah, but that's just a learning lesson. What up, Moke? How you doing? Is it weak or does it pull back? Yes, Victoria. Yes. Completely agree with that entire statement. What up, Hassan? I do yard work, and that's the nice part of living at a property with 5 acres. is I can go do whatever yard work I need to do. I should have put a third option on there of not trading because there's a lot of you saying that you're not looking to trade, but there is a majority of the votes that are bearish. Interesting perspective. I see exactly what you said. When I made the poll, I started to see a more bearish outcome. I wanted to see how we reacted to this, and we lost it quicker than I'd expect. I'm assuming a few of you shorted NQ retest off the open. I know some of you got in even before that. I had to go small size. Wasn't 100% on it. I mean, it works, brother. Gandhi, if there's one thing to take away from a lot of these, it's just the psychology. Because most of us aren't gung ho traders. There's days we are, but a large majority of the time we're not. Yeah, I saw Jake watching oil. And that's an easy thing to do too. If you just want to let the chart go, because there's times where you can stare at charts and over execute, especially if you're taking options. Something I love to do is just leave the charts, leave the trade, set alerts, and don't look at it at all. And I desperately, that's something I struggle with because there's days I look at charts entirely way too much. I'll take something and I'm like, all right, I'm going to hold this for 2 days, not trade it at all, and then come back in 2 days and execute upon it. And then I start looking at it towards the end of that day or the morning of the next day, and I start trimming when I don't need to. And I come back when I wanted to 2 days later, and it moved 10%. Vulture, what's hard to do as that's recognizing defeat. Are you talking about closing your broker? Because it's not at all. And I would actually say, I want to see you reply to it first, just so I know. But it's a really good tangent to get into. Short, maybe. I'd want to see it retest 74.16. All right, now Vulture, I'm gonna get into this. Just know it is not geared directly towards you, just in general. I think that's a horrible outlook on it. Saying that closing your broker is like recognizing defeat. And I guess the aspect where you said, you lose a battle, not the war, can work. But for me, it's not defeat. It is just fully part of the process because we're expected to lose as traders. It's not like we're a surgeon, like let's say a trauma surgeon, where if you make a mistake, that's literally someone's life on the line. Now, if I make a mistake, it's just a wrong read on the market. I'll live till tomorrow. And it's something that you have to fully acknowledge within trading. We're going to lose. And that's where a lot of people struggle to do it. In the regular 9 to 5, most jobs, you're meant to not make a mistake. You're meant to work every hour you're on the clock 24/7, not 24/7, but every hour that you're actually on the clock. With trading, it can be the opposite. One, you learn from your mistakes, which is a great part of trading. You're going to make mistakes. We're human. Unless you built some algo that is just absolutely A++ in trading, never makes a mistake. Even most of those do. Hedge funds make mistakes. Warren Buffett has made mistakes. It's a part of it. And another concept with that is the working the entire time, like the 9 to 5 day. And I struggled with this a lot in the beginning. There are days where more time in the market can be detrimental versus actual impactful. And for me, that's what it was. I was doing sales and like management right before I got into this. If I didn't work, like at one point, my mom literally came in and said, you have been a shit employee. And those were her actual words. I was like, wow, thanks, mom. But because I was focused on trading. And the hard part with trading is you can make thousands of dollars in minutes in the morning, but then you continue to trade, lose it all, plus lose more after that. You just turned $1,000 in, let's say, 20 minutes into negative $1,000 in 8 hours because you wanted to stay longer. A lot of the time, it's actually better to just get up and get away. Trade some EBB V calls. Nice. I haven't looked at that chart in probably months. You traded calls? Oh, early morning. I just saw the pullback. Yeah. It is, Ake. It 1,000% is. And I used to force myself to 2 trades a day max. Now I'm okay with it because I split it into sessions. You guys have literally seen me be like, "Oh, I've lost what I want to lose this session. I won't trade anymore." And it's just how I do it. Yeah, YM is weaker, Victoria. What I wanted to see was YM react down around here, but I'm not interested in just blindly longing it here at all. Not yet, Robert. We're still looking, brother. How you doing? Short, maybe. If you did short, good opportunity. Short-term defeat, but long-term winning. Yeah. If you say it as accepting defeat, then you start looking at the overall aspect of the defeat itself. I look at it as a learning lesson. Every mistake I make is going to be a learning lesson in the end. Sorry, I literally just cut out mid rant because I'm just looking at the charts real quick. My problem is no matter what way I trade this, I kind of want this 4 hour to do nothing. Like, would you guys agree with that? If this was a 5 minute chart on any time frame, would it make sense for this candle to just close like this? Because I feel like it would. Yeah, it's a one like that whole perspective. I mean, I could see the hourlies building back up. Like, why did I mark this area in the YM? It's the low of the range. It's the hourly support from all of this. If we hold that, it looks good opportunity back to the upside. So, like, I'd be interested in YM longs off of that, but it's more so we're in this range. Like, are we going to break today or more so tomorrow? Let's give it 10 minutes, see what the hourly does. See what Asia does first. You ever measure the impulse on the 1, 2, 3? What do you mean by the impulse? Like my impulse? Like my impulsiveness or just the market? No, I never have, Victoria. Oh, okay. So you mean just like the opposite of the first candle for the most part? I do that with ranges sometimes. Like when we built out the initial daily range, I think it was on RTY. I did that where I just drew. You mean something like this, where you go like the low of the range to the high of the range, and then you just take that to the upside of it, and that's like the move you can anticipate from it. Because if so, I've done that with ranges. Okay, yeah. I haven't done that with 1, 2, 3 aspect though, but it could work. That demon voice telling me, "Look, a candle happened. Get back in it and don't miss out." One of the best things you can do on charts is just change the time frame. Because let's say I'm watching the 2 minute and I'm like, "Oh my god, this could be a really, really good setup." Then I would go to the 5. And be like, all right, is it really? If it is, maybe. Then I go to the 15. Is it? All right, maybe. Then you go to the hourly. If they all agree, then go for it. I'm kind of just watching the YM closely because this is the area that I drew before I got on that I was interested in seeing the reaction off of. But every time I look at the 4-hour, I'm like, do I really want this candle to be the one that breaks? It could be like an unconventional 3-bar play within the candle, but not kind of, sort of, not really. I feel like I'd be kind of forcing that perspective. But we do have 4 hours of consolidation. It'd be spiking the lows. Now, here's the whole thesis that I'd be looking at. I'm going to paint a picture. I'm not in yet. I'm still looking. Here was my entire thesis going into the session before this candle even happened. I drew this area because no matter what, I wanted us to retest this. We came down, retested this. I want to see how we respect to it. Why? Because we're just retesting the larger pivot on the hourly chart. If we do respect it here in the next 6 minutes, I would want to see it close stronger above. If we get that hourly fair to go lower, it could be a sign that it's starting to hold. But I'm not like a hell yes, this would be anything A plus. With the 15-minute, it would be speculative now because we did break these lows, which is why I'm like more cautious on it. I don't love it. I don't. I'd rather see a little bit higher conviction on it because this could easily close like this, 3-bar play. And this is one of those things where if it does push lower in the next 5 minutes, this hourly candle actually flips bearish. If we close below this wick, it's a lot more bearish than it is bullish. The only way I'd be interested in this is if we got 5 minutes of buying pressure. And I mean stronger buying pressure to put us back up towards the open. Anything outside of that, I'm patient and I'm waiting. But it is a good area to watch. ES, if you're interested in shorts, you can watch the break or the retest of this 16 area. How's gold doing? Because I know some of you guys were looking. Hasn't done much. Problem is, I feel like during this session, we have just been getting teased. Because every other session, like New York's getting volatility. And then we get here, and the market's like, yeah, we might move 10 points. Doing all right, man. Some days, seeing you talking about the yard work made me feel lazy. So I just got done seeding my grass. Hell yeah, Robert. And I will fully live by this. It doesn't have to be yard work. But if trading is the hardest stress that you yourself put on your body, you need to reevaluate a lot of things. And I firmly live by that rule. I think if you trading every single day is the biggest stress factor that you go into, then you really need to reevaluate it. Because if you think about it, that's like the most extreme stress your body's dealing with. How are you going to feel every single time you trade and you're in a bad trade? And it could be little stuff, working out, going outside, doing just something like neurologically stimulating that stimulates your brain more than trading. Just any aspect in general. What up, Tay? How you doing? How'd you quit degen trade behavior? How did you change your psychology? One thing I did that helped is I actively gave myself the opportunity to degen trade. Like I will make the decision, be like, all right, I'm going to degen trade. But hang on, let me look at this because what I'm kind of interested in here now is if we get this hourly close, what are we doing? We're closing the hourly week, getting that sell. And this would be more of a later entry, but also it'd be looking at the 15-minute 3-bar play if we reject off of this. If we do set that up, get the 5-minute lower high rejection off of it, we're getting that sell trigger. Break this low, you can look down towards like 402 to 395s. Problem is I don't have like a bigger target that I want. It'd be like 400. I mean, it's 12 points. It's nothing crazy. Your stop would be 3 points. The one thing I don't want to do though is that the one thing I'm kind of hesitating on is Asia Open. Asia Open is either flat as hell or it brings a dumb amount of volatility. So I'm going to give us 2 minutes, see the open, trade off of that. But no, with the how did I quit degen trading? It was just like psychologically checking myself. Because I can only be a degenerate gambler so many times before I look at myself and I just go, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why did you just blow another $1,000 trying to catch an end of day move in the last 20 minutes of the market when it really wasn't there? and you're kind of just trying to force a move, you know? I've done a lot of stuff like that in the past. So I've learned. But a lot of it was just checking myself psychologically, just be like, dude, what are you doing and why are you doing it? And it's just like, do you really want this or do you just want the short term gratification of trying to be rich as hell in 2 days? If it is, go sports bet, go trade leverage crypto, live it for a week and then lose it all, you know? But no, it took a while. But I do still let myself be a degenerate. It's just mainly on evals. For me, most tilts is when I just fire with no actual trade setup, pulling the slots, candle. Yep. Sean, what a lot of it is people will look at a chart like this and they'll just look at something really quick and go, oh my God, 5 minute lower high, short can play out, take the short. And then it holds because it just swept the lows and then pivots back up because they don't zoom out, look at the broader picture. That's where a lot of tilts start. And that's where a lot of mine used to start. So I agreed. Hell yeah, Robert. I don't know if that feature's leaving, but I know they are offering an additional discount on it if you do buy the 5 accounts with Tradeify, which is sick because you can buy all 5 at the same time. I mean, my end goal is to get 5 Tradeify funded. So I'm on 3 right now. Working on the other ones. Still a work in progress, but we're getting there slowly. Sometimes I wish I just yeeted evals to make it quicker. All right, so we have Asia open. Now, how do we react? That's what I do with the 15-minute orb, but for a 2 hour, as long as it aligns with 200 AMA, as long as you have a strategy, brother. As long as you have a strategy. Vulture, that is pure degeneracy. If you're taking stabs in trading while driving down the highway because you're such a degenerate, at least for me, I would take it when I was at a stop sign or something. Take the trade then, take it before you leave your driveway, and then just leave your screen up on your phone. Obviously, don't hold your phone or don't stare at it. Then you go and crash. But I would do that. I would stare at my phone the entire time I was at the gym. Every time. RSI says overbought on S&P. It's interesting, but how long has the RSI said we've been overbought on something like the 4 hour chart or even the daily chart? I feel like that shit's been overbought for 4 weeks and we've only been ranging for 5 or we've only been rallying for like 5. It's just the way the RSI, I feel like right here, the RSI said we were probably overbought, but now we're all the way up here, you know? Obviously could be wrong, but also I'm just not the biggest fan of the RSI. It's just me. If it works for you, rip it. Like to stream. Appreciate you, Victoria. Yeah, if you do like what we do, if you want to help show some love, like the stream. I haven't said it enough. That's why we only have 66 likes. That is my fault. I suck at doing it. But hit the little thumbs up below the stream. Show some love. Show some support. Later on, we are giving away a 50K Take Profit Trader account to one of y'all. So if you do like the stream, all you gotta do is like it, and you'll be entered later once we run it. Oil big spike lower, quick bought up. Gold low spike higher, quick sold. Glad I'm not in ES, but this is interestingly volatile. Spike higher failed, spike lower failed. Now we're just sitting flat. What I would have wanted to see is this, like after this failed, I would have really wanted to see this continue if we were going to short. But now the opportunity kind of rises. Is this going to hold as a short term low? I still think this session is going to be more of a dud, except for shorter term trades. And that's my problem is I just don't love 10-point trades, which they can make money. It can add buffers to your account. It's just not something I'm like, hell yeah, I want to do. Let's see oil. Smack the like. Appreciate you, NASDAQ trading live. Gold looks interesting. Is it just me, or is it like the more price action we get, the worse this chart just looks? What I'm kind of watching here is this 5-minute, how we close. If we close near the highs and get that buyback over, I can see a target for the open, which will be like 11, 12 points. Appreciate you, Jason. I'm an RN. Is trading is way more fun and less stressful than my job. Beautiful, Kelp. See, that's a good thing. Robert, that's why I love like brutal workouts. Just feeling like you're clinging to life. Obviously, not actually, but just workouts that kick the absolute shit out of you. Because then when you're done, you're like, life could be a hell of a lot worse than what I'm living. I'm also probably going to miss quite a few of the messages because there's a few up there that I'm trying to get through real quick, but I'm also watching the charts. So we're getting that 5-minute close, 1 minute little outside bar. I just feel like this week for me has been ungodly slow during this session. What up, Christian? How you doing? This is what I don't love. We get the initial spikes up, then we immediately start pulling back. Thank you for reminding me about Asia Open. You're welcome, Joe. So I've been having a good trader, Joe. And this isn't even like kissing ass. From what I've seen, you are on a very quick process in trading. If you've only been trading since January, just from what you've been saying and what I've seen, and also our DMs, and you're currently rocking 3 fundeds on Tradeify without copy trading them. Most people don't even have one by that time. Just saying. So you're catching on quick, which is good. But you're probably also very patient and persistent about it. See you later, Dev. Hell yeah, Vision. Thoughts on silver? I usually don't trade silver a lot. Appreciate you, Brandon. What up, Armani? I'm feeling bullshit about to go down. Waiting for London buy setup, sweep for data. Bro, AXP, it's exactly what I'm feeling. And it's like the more candles that show up on this chart, the more I'm like, this kind of just looks annoying. Does it not? And I'm at the point where like and I'm not saying I'm like done, not looking to trade. But on this chart, if we reject this area, it could be a good opportunity for shorts for a lower high. But if we do hold this area, you look at the 15, could be an opportunity where we end up holding within this consolidation, pushing back up towards the open. So just on most charts, I can paint a thesis either way. When I can do that, I want nothing to do with being in a trade. There are times where I'll just go, you know what? I'm trading an eval, which I might do. I might turn on the sign, just grab an eval. If I do, it's not going to be pure degenerate. It's just going to be because I'm trading an eval. But I'm just not overly in love with what I'm seeing. I think there's a lot of potential like this could happen and not enough this should for me. AXP, that's how a lot of people pass prop firms. It's just full port it. For me, no. I usually trade it normal. I see the opportunity to full port it, but I'm gonna be honest, I don't want to burn $1,500, $2,000 on prop firms just yeeting them into the sun. I would rather just trade them slow and work my way up to it while trading other accounts that are actually making me money. You know what I mean? So at that point, it's just a financial aspect. Like I don't want to burn $1,500, $2,000 in evals if I'm just yeeting them. Because if you start yeeting 50Ks, you will nuke them quick. I'm just win 2 trades in 2 days. This is the easy way to do it. Yeah, Acer, I do. I usually don't trade New York Open. Full honesty, I don't. First half hour, I have very little interest. Unless there's like an absolutely A plus, then I'll take it. But I just have little interest. Might re-enter on this rejection. If I was looking to short, this is probably where I'd get in and just take the risk. So I look at ES. I can see it, but I don't love it. It's not a trade that I'm in love with. But I can definitely see what you'd be looking at. Trading this rejection off this overall pivot, which I did mark pre-stream. YM's also rejecting the higher end of that area that I marked. I just don't see something. I'm like, yes, I desperately I need to play risk on this. Screwed, I'm in 10 micros. Good luck, brother. Good luck. I just weeks like this do at some point they start to get to me. And not even like mentally, it's just because I love trading. And it's just a lot of waiting for setups and waiting for trades. And most of them aren't coming during this session, unfortunately. Certified. That's the main joke about it with the W wrong and then wrong. Yeah, AXP, all that stuff with OPEX makes sense. And I know it's true. Joe, if you start with that mindset of knowing it's going to be psychological and you need to put a lot of emphasis on managing emotions, you should pick up on it quickly. Where my flaw was in the beginning is I came in knowing absolutely nothing, was a complete degenerate. It worked out in my favor for just long enough. And then I was absolutely torched psychologically. I turned into a pure degenerate at heart because that's what I was. And it was a bitch to fix. Yeah, HP, that's the main reason I don't do it. Like I could size aggressively on evals. I don't do it because in the past it's bled over into my funded accounts. And that's not something I want to do. I've traded more aggressive on evals, passed them in like a day or two. Now, if I have the mindset to do it, I'm fine. But there was times I would be like, oh my God, this is a decent setup. And I would just trade 3 evals together, max size, blow 2 of them the next day once I got the fundeds. But obviously, this was a long time ago. It's just little things like that. Once they become an issue for me, I try not to do them later on. So someone re-entered short on this rejections. Someone is NQ long. Oh, no, Victoria's NQ longs over 110. Yeah, you're just trading this range, right, Victoria? Shorts under 160. Yep. All you did was just mark that from what I see. You just went like this, basically, said outside of that, we're trading. Trade if I select, would I do daily or 5-day? I'm going to be honest. My preference would be 5-day. It would. Most people would think I'm delusional for that. I love the aspect of just not worrying about the consistency, and I'm not in a rush to get a payout. Like, I don't desperately need it, so I'm not in a rush to get it at all. But I like being able to trade that and just not have a single care in the world. Where if the runners keep running, and a good example is if I took those trades earlier, was that earlier this week or late? When did I catch YM? Was it earlier this week or late last week? Had to be late last week because it's only like the second trading day this week. If I caught YM on those accounts, I wouldn't be in a predicament with consistency right now that I'm in because I have to make 2 times the actual buffer amount to get a payout now. But those are my favorite accounts. Those and then the Lucid Flex. Even though for some reason I keep buying the growth on Tradeify. Don't know why. Vision, that's what a lot of people do, and that's why I don't do daily payouts. Can daily payouts be great? Yes. But what happens with a lot of people is psychologically, they go, "Oh, I made $500 today. I can withdraw that, or I can keep trading and I can withdraw $1,000." And there's a lot of little things like that within any account, especially prop firms, that are going to be little slight psychological battles that you have to deal with overall. If it's one day to pass and it's cheap, I'll full send it. Cuff Apex. I burned a lot of Apex accounts, a lot of Apex accounts. If I trade Apex again, I feel like it would be going for 10 accounts. Daily payouts, no consistency. I don't think it's just small caps. Yeah, Jake, I feel like that was just me leaning to like 2 conversations kind of went together on that. But no, yeah, I honestly don't know about the daily pads because I haven't looked at them a lot. But yeah, it's just for me, I like the 5-day because there's that no consistency aspect. And all you really have to do after is just trade days and make $150 or whatever it is. Vision. Sometimes that's how prop firms are, you know? It's you'll trade a few times, get a few payouts, and then just recycle it. It sucks, but it's just something that does happen. I'm watching this consolidation kind of like we did end of day, where we had these consolidations down at the lows. To see, is this going to be the low pivot or are we going to end up breaking? Because all this is now is we have a high and a low. If we break below like 411, 410 on ES, I would look for that drawdown to continue. But if we break back above 16, that's where we may go back towards the open and possibly even the highs. Just while we're within this, don't expect a whole lot. It's like an if that, if then what, like how Mitch says it. If we break this, then what should we do? If we break this, then what should we do? While we're within inside that, I don't have a lot of interest. Beautiful, Gandhi. Yeah, I wasn't getting at you for taking that trade at all. YM was last week, Nvidia was the week before. Bet. Victoria, I love how you remember my trades more than I remember. And also the week before, I think it was like 2 weeks before Nvidia, we call YM again. But no, I think next time I trade Apex, if I do, I'll be going for like 10 accounts because I feel like that's the whole purpose of it. Anything under than that, I just feel like it's not worth it. Like I wouldn't trade Apex to trade 5 accounts together. They do have the end of day drawdown. The only thing I don't like about it is it's $1,000. I think that's criminal on an eval. Or no, not. I think it's on the eval as well. But to have $1,000 drawdown on a 50K. All right, we're starting to break over. 15-minute closing a little bit better. It still has 11 minutes. So that's not doing a whole lot. 2 minutes starting to get that push though. We got that pop quick right there. So we're ending up doing that thing we did towards the low of the day with that consolidation, where we ended up breaking the highs and getting that quick push. Well, I had to stop on my short. GG. Yeah, I'm happy we didn't short. That's also why I was like, I walked through both theses of that overall setup. And I wanted to short, especially on this rejection. But once we saw this candle, I lost a lot of interest. I do want a long, but I didn't expect us to just rip through it first. I would have liked a little bit of a retest. It is what it is. Now we're fighting the open. I think if the broader long opportunity is going to be there, there will be more opportunity. But no, I'm beyond happy we didn't short. Might trade the RTY looking the best. Joe, what time frame you looking at? It's definitely interesting. 100% Gotti. At that point, it's just if you're willing to take it and take the stop, it's worth trading. Like I said, though, that was an either or kind of way there. I didn't have qualms with anyone taking either direction. I think this entire session's been a 15-point range on ES. 17, close enough. Hell yeah, Vision. Just especially if you're trading 5 together, I would just trade them slower. That's what I like to do with compounding them. Would you say this is a failure to go lower on NQ? What on the what time frame? If you're looking at the 15, yeah. If you're looking at the 2, I guess right here, yeah. 5-minute here, because this is the only candle that really spiked lower and failed. If it's this one, then yes. I've been a part of the community for 1 month now. Been able to take 3 payouts so far with Lucid. A dang video that is fucking sick, my guy. I love like this stuff. We love to see. It's just you guys doing well in general. Yeah, Ollie, and it'll be like during these sessions, they can be boring, obviously, because the market just isn't moving. And while I'm okay with it, obviously we're still here streaming, so I'm gonna try to make it as entertaining as possible. But if the chart isn't A plus, the reason I'm not forcing trades overall is I know there's going to be setups no matter what throughout the next 24 hours that are going to be easy to be caught. So for me, it's not always necessarily worth it just to like throw on a trade and take a loss just because I'm on stream, even though the feeling can be there a lot to do that. Where like I could actively be on stream and be like, I want to take something no matter what for the stream. So that way there's a trade. But if it loses, it's kind of just a lose-lose there. I forced something and then I lost. So it's just a game of patience, just waiting, which sucks, but also it's kind of market we're in. I really wish the YM consolidated a little bit more than 2 minutes there. Because I feel like that's the main name that I'm back to watching. The main reason I didn't take, because I've been watching the YM for longs this whole time. I wanted this hourly to spike a little bit lower than the prior. It didn't, and it just kind of stuck. It's an inside bar. I wanted that little bit of a failure, kind of similar to NQ and ES did. Didn't get it yet. That 15-minute also isn't the greatest candle, but now we're back up towards the open. So I'm going to watch how we react to the open. If we end up getting that potential, I think at least later in the day, possibly tomorrow, if upside is the move, YM could be more interesting. No, a dang video. That's actually the opposite of what I do. And he said, if you are 150 profit away from a payout, would you go for a quick scalp to make it real quick? No. What I do is I size lower. I set up a trade that would probably risk, let's say, 75 to $100, maybe make like 2 to 3 if it hits really well. And then I'll set my daily profit to kick me out at 175. So I'll take the trade as it's consistently working out. If it works out, it'll kick me out of the trade in the middle of it. And the reason I do that is I'm never focusing on exactly when and where I need to get out. And at that point, I just do not care about P&L. It's just finding one setup that's worth it with normal or smaller size and just letting it play out in the end. I don't like trying to take scalps because what happened to me, at least in the past, when I used to do that, and the reason I do everything a certain way is because I've likely dealt with it in the past. I would take, let's say, a mini and try to make $150. And then I would lose 150. And then I have to make 300. And that same day, I'm like, all right, now I got to try to make 300 on it. And then it's just a never ending cycle. And that's how a lot of people blow up before they get the payout. It's a huge recipe for tilt. And that's why I just traded normal and I don't even care if I make 100 one day and 50 the next. Most people think that's crazy, but you're getting the payout regardless. 24 hours for a payout window isn't going to change my life. 22 point long for me, saw the emails. We're there. Most likely wanted to pump back towards session VWAP. Candlestick Cowboy, you talking about the NQ? If so, nice trade. For me, it's just I'm a different trader, and I feel like that it does hinder me a little bit on Asia because I don't love looking for, let's say, 8 points on ES or like 30 points on NQ. I love looking for the larger potential moves, which just takes a lot of time to just wait for that kind of to set up. And there are days where I get more of like a how long ES looking for session highs, which isn't crazy, but it's just you have to have a really tight stop for me for the risk reward to be actually worth it. To where I'm gonna be like, yes, I really want to be in this. I think this year might be insane for the stock market. The way the longs keep getting paid, even this deep, is something that's fair. It's fair. I mean, it could easily be a year. The problem is, like, if the stock market keeps doing this, the farther we go, the harder we're going to fall at some point. And that is why I would just love, even the rest of this week, to just be painful, just be sideways for a lot of people. Just give me a little bit of a consolidation, then we can break back up without any hesitation. I've just been putting a lot of emphasis on the 4 hour and just kind of following that for the most part. But I also been trying to ignore the daily a lot because it's basically straight up. Nice rejection there so far off the open. So once again, glad I didn't long because I would still be in a position. Yeah, Raw Dog, I do not like the 1K drawdown on Apex. And I wholeheartedly believe Apex is a solid company to use, but I believe it's a solid company to use if you're looking to trade more than 5 accounts. If you're trading any less than 5 accounts, I really don't agree with it. Just because the accounts, quite frankly, cost more and the rules are stricter. What up to daily candle trades? 5 points away from blowing 5 accounts. Now up and got my 150 profit day. You were 5 points away from blowing 5 accounts and you're green. Holy fuck. God damn, dude. Damn. I don't even know what to say to that one, but congratulations, I guess. That long you mentioned would have been gas. Yeah. And it's just my problem, like I said, is these days I'm just not that much of a scalper. AXP, so do I. I am just solely waiting for that. I am. I am waiting for the YM pump. But I'm also trading other names intraday. One, two, three on the 5. No, that already failed. Which I'm sure you know now. Looking for short term down on ES. I could see it. I think we're just in shit right now. We spent the first hour of the session in a 9-point upside range. We spent the last hour and a half in a 9-point downside range. Unless you caught this move, there isn't a single move in this entire overnight session that I would have taken and gotten any type of trim on. You never traded OPEX. AXP, just tell them to trade quad witching next. Skip OPEX, come back for quad witching. You'll have a lot more fun. Yeah, let's go. I mean, if you think about that wholeheartedly, if I'm looking at the 4-hour chart, which a lot of you guys know is the main things that I trade, is 4-hour structure is something that I just wholeheartedly focus on. If I think this candle is going to consolidate, that tells me to have a lot lower expectations for the next hour and 30 minutes. Now, that doesn't mean I won't trade, but if I look at an overall structure and think, all right, let's say this might be the session lows of that 4-hour candle. And if I don't think the next candle can sweep that low at all, I'll take an entry early. But a large majority of the time, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait till that candle's done. Because why do I, like, if I have a strong feeling we're going to consolidate for 2 hours, why would I want to get in and just wait through that? You know, I would rather just wait for it. And no, I don't. That's what I just talked about. It's a really big part of my strategy. It's just the main structure I'm going to follow is the 4-hour. Because even with the Asia session, my end goal is to hold trades while I sleep. And most people are not going to be okay with that. And that is what it is. But I want to be able to get a trade that I can hold for 12 hours. Is that going to be every single day, every single trade? No, not even remotely close. It's maybe like one every week and a half that I hold overnight. But I'll look to take trims and overall positions intra-session if I think the risk is worth it. If I think the setup's there. Right now, I just don't. But I pay a lot of attention to multi-time frame analysis, mainly driving from the 4-hour all the way down to like the 5-minute. If they're all aligned, I'll take the trades without any hesitation. Are you able to sleep okay holding overnight? Like a baby, brother. Like a baby. Because all I do is I set a hard stop loss, and at that point, I don't care. And you'll see it the longer you're on these sessions, especially with not just me, but the other hosts. If we take a stop, we're not like, oh my God, I just got stopped out. But also, most of the time, we're not like overly euphoric about if a trade hits. We'll be happy about it, but we're not just going to be screaming like, oh my God, banger, bang, like the trade just hit. It's crazy, you know? At least that's me. I won't. Because If I'm gonna be level-headed on losses, I need to be level-headed on wins. Yeah, no, I sleep like a baby. I'll set trims, OCOs, and stops and just go to bed. There's times I'll wake up usually I wake up earlier. Like, if I need to make sure I'm up early in the morning, all I gotta do is enter a trade. If I'm in a position, first second I wake up, I'm out of bed. I'm ready to go. Certified, usually what I do, like the last YM trade, the last 2 YM trades we caught, I held overnight and closed at like 8, 8:30 in the morning, and they were really nice trades. At that point, I'm done. I gotta now it's the struggle of figuring out what the hell else I wanna do with the rest of my day. No, HP, and that's what a lot don't see. Like, I could lose 3 trades in a session and it won't impact anything at all. Like, in reality, let's say I haven't won a single trade since the last YM trade, I would still be green. And it's all about structuring and sizing everything properly. Could you show us how to set OCOs? Blambo, I'm pretty sure it's B Lambo, but I just love the word Blambo now that I've seen your name. So I just keep calling you that. Hope you're okay with it. But I have a trade of eight video that I can show you. Do you reduce your actual size if you're in drawdown? Yes. When you think about it, if you're, let's say, not trading well, from my perspective, why would I size up? You're saying it correctly, bet. Um, if I'm trading well, I have no issue sizing up personally. But a lot of people do the opposite. They size down when they're doing well and they size up when they're doing bad. That's essentially like a gambler's mindset, like, oh my God, I got to size up to win it back, which, yes, it can work. But for me, I'd rather size lower, just get back to trade in my trading groove and then ride it from there. All right, what's this 15 doing? 15 inside bar, still rejecting the open. If this 15-minute candle closes like this, I like it. The problem is a lot of these are kind of sitting. How do I draw this? Is it like this? Kind of like that. Sorry, I don't know how to draw this. Like that ish. And that's how like every index is right now. So I'm just watching the consolidations to see if we're going to respect them or not. Because I am interested in broader longs. I'm more interested in longs than shorts. Why? Well, we're still at fucking all-time highs. I'm not overly interested in shorting. Will I short if the opportunity's there? Yes. But I think there's more opportunity towards the upside on these charts than there is to the downside. Just my whole perspective. And I could be horribly wrong. If I'm wrong, I'll likely be just like I was New York Open, sitting cash, waiting for an opportunity to long. And I have no problem with that. Yeah, Ali, both flaggy ish, but also we're just in a range, you know? Yeah, XP. And it's what a lot of people mess up on is instead of just focusing on that overall picture with just that one trade, they let that one big loser take them out. And that's where a lot of people do it. They focus more on win percentage aspect versus risk to reward, which is nothing wrong with it as long as you control your winners. Wholeheartedly, all that trading comes down to is how do you maintain your losers? How do you maintain them? 4 hour could be a lower high or consolidating to set up a higher low later on ES. And I know that just by what I looked at the chart earlier. I haven't fully dove too much into it yet. But yeah, B Lambo, if you or Lambo, I keep changing it. I don't know what's going on. But if you DM me on anything, just let me know where you're gonna DM me from. I can send you the link to my Trade of Eight video that shows you how to set up OCOs and everything. Well, actually, let me do this. Um, All right. So here's my trade of 8. I hit everything so y'all can't see stuff. You don't need to. It's not literally not anything anyway. It's just my fundeds and some evals. But all you're gonna do, which shows all right there. All you're gonna do is you go here, go down to the bottom, you do OCO one time, and then you just go on whichever side you need it to. You set your stop loss first, which you're gonna want to right click, and then up to the top, you want to left click to set your take profit. You just got to make sure your contracts are correct, you're on the right account, and you're on the right side of the DOM. But I have a larger breakdown on YouTube. So just feel free to shoot me a DM and I'll get that over to you. At this point, I should probably just make that video public, but I haven't yet. I think that video has like 500 views and I've never posted it like live. Yeah, when someone just talked about the 4 hour on ES, yes, it could be a lower high based off of where we're kind of sitting. You could draw even something like this, where if you're a pattern trader, where it's just more so lower high, higher high, lower high, you know? But it doesn't have to play out. It's more so how we react to this 4 hour candle. If this 4 hour candle stays here and we end up breaking the highs, getting back over this area at last week's highs, then I'm bullish. If we hold below it, I lean more bearish. It's just because of how the weekly would look. I hear Asia session is the worst session to trade. On how often would you say Asia you don't take a position? I would disagree there, but it is, yeah, it has to be the most consolidative session, which also in theory means the worst session to trade. I get it. I feel like there's trades every day. It's just where's your expectations for it? And it's this week is going to be less trades for me most likely on Asia, just because we're getting more of the volatility during the actual New York session, during the end of day session as well. And then Asia is like the cool down period right now, which is what it is. But there's also going to be times where you'll see really nice Asia session trades into the New York session. And that's kind of what I mainly look for is the setup there to where I can take a trade and hold it into future sessions? Because that's what I really want to do. Used to be wild to trade GC during Asia, that and oil as well. Even oil, if you like, if I start focusing more on this, there's trades every single day, multiple days. But even so, 1 point on oil isn't a lot. But it just depends what you're looking to trade. But we're literally OPEX after a 30% rally on the NASDAQ. I'm not anticipating the Asia session to be the most favorable. How long do you usually hold a position besides overnight? During New York, anywhere between 30 minutes to 4 hours, maybe longer. During Asia, could be 30 minutes to 15 hours. It all depends on the setup and my expectation of it. This chat has actively seen me hold multiple positions for 12 hours with futures. I trade the 1 minute chart for the first time today. IDK, do it. Yeah, AXP. That's why I stay the hell away from the 1 minute, especially NQ. NQ, I won't touch. I love to stay towards like the mid to higher time frames. Because even if you're looking at, let's say, the 15 here, I wouldn't say it looks the best, but we're also trying to get back over this little pivot, which can put us in quote unquote more of an uptrend. RTY does look more interesting. It's definitely stronger. I've heard of a lot of people using the 10 minute, but I've never used it. So that's interesting. And I feel like if no matter what, you can trade pretty much any time frame as long as you switch to that time slot. Bullish. What do I think about traders turning $10 into a milli? It's pretty straightforward. I think those traders likely own a forex broker in which they can manipulate the orders to make it look like they turned $10 or $100 into a million within a very short amount of time to be able to sell stuff. And it's great fucking marketing. If you genuinely think people are turning $10 into a million without blowing it up once, I would question the person's mental stability overall. It's just such low high probability. Obviously, I know you're not likely believing that, but I think anyone who's doing $100 to a million, do they own a forex broker? If they don't, are they affiliated with a forex broker? If any of those two boxes are checked, don't believe a single word they say ever, ever. There's a reason anyone messages me about forex, I tell them I'm not interested. Last thing I want to do is assign myself with anything that's unregulated in the world of forex. If you want to find out where the most scams are, it's in unregulated forex, and that's just straight facts. But now, don't you think if it was easy to trade? And one thing you can say as well, if you look at anything where it's 100 to a milli, anything like that, look at anyone who tries to do a small account challenge. 1 out of every 20 makes it, but the other 19 barely make it past 1K, you know? So that's why it's something I'll never do as well. I just have zero interest in it. It's great marketing. Don't get me wrong. It is great marketing, but it's not something that I'm interested in. Yeah, if you're sending fake wrong Bitcoin, just send it to the real one. Just send it to me. It's not financial advice at all, but worst case, I'll give you like an ETH back for a full Bitcoin. It's better than the exchange rate you'll get through the scammers. So just an option. You gotta give me time though, because I don't have any crypto. So I'd have to convert your crypto into a different crypto to give it back to you. It's all jokes. Don't do it. Never DM asking anybody for money on social media, and never give anyone money on social media. Don't. Unless it's an actual payment firm or payment processor, then it makes sense. Because if it's a scam, you can go through them and fix it. No, AXP, a lot of times it's not even like 10K to a million. I own this Forex broker and I can change the orders whenever I want after the market already did its thing to get where I want to get to. And I know I'm not saying everybody who's done something like that does that, but it's most likely everybody who's done something like that has done that. What do you think of meme coin traders referring to themselves as traders? To each their own. To each their own. It's a different thing. They're technically trading something. So I don't know meme coin trading. I don't trade it. I have no interest in it. I won't even trade AMC or GameStop. So that tells you where my mindset is. The last thing I want is to truly affiliate gambling with like trading, because then there's a very fine line between respectful trading and gambling. And I don't want to be on the wrong side of that line either way. But no, I mean, to each their own. I guarantee you, people who traded NFTs called themselves traders. People call themselves whatever they want to call themselves. There's people who call themselves professional traders. And that's just straight up dumb. Because you have to go through a lot of hoops to get that title. They pick their own prices for pairs, their own fills, their own spreads. Yeah, Ramoy, that's typically how it goes. But then they sell multi-million dollars worth of shit to make it worth it. Pokemon going to be the next NFT bubble? Dude, don't say that. My brother's got a lot of that. My brother's got a lot of Pokemon. It's crazy how much that shit's worth. Would you say this is the bull flag forming YouTube? Yes, for the most part, but also no. Because I just say it's a consolidation. It's the exact same thing we had down here. All we're doing this session is consolidating, moving a little bit, and then consolidating. That's why I'm not like dire to jump into anything. It's not something that I'm like, hell yes, I need to be in. If I caught, let's say if I shorted right here, caught a move down here, I'd be like, all right, it was something. But it's nothing that I'd be like the trade I want to be in would be if I didn't get in it and I looked back at it, I'd be like, damn, I really missed out on that trade. There isn't a single move on this chart that I'm looking at where I have that feeling of, damn, I missed this. There's a really good opportunity here and I didn't take it. I don't see a single trade or a single move. How do we differentiate between a consolidation and a bull flag? YouTube Premium, at that point, it is just simply what you call it. I call things consolidations primarily over bull flags and bear flags because that's what it is. There was probably a lot of people down here at low of day saying, oh my God, this is a bear flag. Because in theory, it is. But in theory, once it consolidates, whichever way we break is the break. If we break and hold overall in that direction, that's going to be the break of it. And that's just why I don't love the term bull flag, bear flag. I'll use them at times, but I don't like love them because it's just a consolidation. Whichever way it breaks, I'm willing to trade. Now, is a bull flag is like a consolidation at the highs of the range below the prior day's highs, under all-time highs, going to be more bullish than bearish? Yes. And if we break the upside, I'm fully interested in longing it. Once the adults are buying them up before kids can get them, it's bubbling. Jeff, it's been like that for years, though, brother. I figured the top of Pokemon would have been when Logan Paul sold his card for like, what was it, $15 million or some shit like that? Which is crazy for a piece of cardboard. Can you explain fair value gap and its ties to liquidity? Because every candle I look at has a fair value gap in between and technically. How do you determine which ones you're going to use? This is a really easy one for me to answer because I'm going to use none of them. I don't trade ICT, brother. If you want ICT, Christian, our power hour guy, he trades a little bit of it. For no one else on the streams trades ICT. It's just not a concept I'm interested in trading. Turtle soup, baby. No, I'll make jokes about ICT. What I say though is if a trading strategy works for you, rock it, trade it. I don't care, right? But for me, it's a lot of overcomplicated phrases for very simplistic setups from what I see. Speak for yourself. I love me some turtle soup. You're not talking about trading, I know. Yeah, I would, if Defy the Gods, if you're genuinely interested, I would ask Christian that at the power hour slot tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern. He should be able to answer for you. Agreed. Except most of what you just said, I personally don't use. I used it in the beginning, but I don't. I trade basic fundamental price action alongside stronger levels within the broader market and overall structure. So I'm just focusing on different time frames. What exactly are all the time frames saying to me? Like right now, why have I not been overly interested in trading? All I've wanted is this 4-hour candle to be a little consolidation candle. So later on, I can look to trade off of that. What does that tell me? For the past 3 hours, I've expected nothing. So far, for 2 hours straight, it has worked out. We have 1 hour left. Once that closes, I can see what this looks like and look to trade off of that. But I just do, mine is primarily multi-time frame analysis. I'm looking at all the different time frames, seeing if they're in conjunction with each other, if structure lines up, if price action lines up. If it does, then I'm interested in trading. If it doesn't, then I'm not. And then regarding like indicators and stuff, I don't use them. I have EMAs on my chart. I rarely use them. I'm be honest. If I used anything, I would probably look to throw like VWAP on. Other than that, no indicators really interest me. Other than obviously we have like a levels indicator, but that's not an actual indicator. It's just drawing the levels for you that we use. But yeah, I keep it simple. And that's how a lot of traders do. But if you like indicators on trading, I just recommend learn price action first and then add the indicators on after that you want to use. Yeah, Ali, we all implemented it into exactly how we want to trade. Like my dream trades are trades I can get in and then just not care about at all. And you guys have seen that. I want to get in a position where I can enter that and just, if I don't look at the chart for the next 3 hours, I don't care. That is how I want to trade. And that is just, it's weird. Most people don't want to do that. That's how I want to do everything. What's the best place to learn your action? Well, if I got to do a cheeky plug, I'll do it. We do have the entire mastermind within our Discord. It's not $3,000. It's not $6,000. It's not even $1,000. It's literally $100 a month. It's 50% off right now. Jay keeps talking about ending it. He's not ending it for some reason. Don't know why, but that's exactly where we teach it. It's where we teach everything. It's all included within Discord. You get the entire community aspect of it. You get the entire mastermind. Just to make it easier, if you are interested, I'll copy and paste this link so you can click on it if you want to. Don't have to, just if you do. Code STREAM at checkout will give you 50% off with that as well. If you have any questions about it, you can ask myself, you can ask any of the other hosts, or some of the 200 people in this chat, a mass majority have already taken it. YouTube. Oh, you're in. Okay, bet. So then I was a cheeky plug for everybody else. For me, it's going to be like lesson 3, 4, 5. Because you're in the middle of the thick of it. And at that point, like you can only learn or teach someone so much. Like when I work with people one-on-one, I can only teach them so much about charting to the point where now it's just up to them to actually implement the things. And with that, what I did is I just spent a shitload of time drawing on charts. I spent a lot of time on the individual stocks or the futures on the daily and weekly chart, drawing out setups, letting them trade out for a day or two or a week, and then coming back and redrawing them again and just seeing, did it work? Did it not work? Why? It's just reps. It's just understanding the market, knowing exactly what you're looking for and just getting reps. How many likes are we at though? 117. I really suck at telling you guys to like the streams lately. So if you want to do the giveaway, we'll do the TBT giveaway in a little bit. We got to at least get like 175 of you in here. 150 likes should be simple. Simple. It's 32. Literally 32 people like it. I'll do the giveaway. Not even asking for a lot. Unorthodox. I ain't shorting shit right now. But what up, brother? Still waiting. Also, this is the watch I told you guys about. I told you I have like a decent $300 watch that doesn't work because the battery's dead. And if you look, it doesn't move, but it looks cool. I still wear it all the time. Remember, there's always someone seeing the opposite of what someone else sees. Trading, need to find what works for you. Agreed. And that's why one of the things I tell everybody is, and I've noticed some of the other, if you guys notice some of the other hosts saying it now, don't follow my trades. Don't do what I do. Don't listen to me. Don't take any of my setups. I love it. But that's why I say it every single time. What do you think of the AP swatch? I think there's a lot of crybabies complaining about a watch being made. I'll say that. I'll straight up say that. It's a watch, brother, you know? It's a cheap watch for people to get in and for the brand to be like shown out more. I get why people who own $200,000 APs are going to be like, hey, why are we doing that? You know, but for me, I think it's a watch. I don't think I would ever buy a regular AP. It's a $200 watch that is an AP. I think I'd be interested in that. Yeah, for me, like it's literally a watch. Like why are people freaking out about it? You don't like it, don't buy it. If it devalues, if you start selling your AP for cheaper or start selling your AP because of that, like I've seen videos of people saying they're not buying AP anymore because of it. If that's your thesis, I don't think you were AP's customer base in the first place. But no, that'd be a sick watch to own. If I ever got a watch that looked like that, there's a watch company that I've been seeing that makes like they take Rolex looks, AP looks, like RM looks, whatever kind of watch you want, and they make it for like $100 watch. That's what I would buy. How do I do consolidation? Just we're not moving, brother. We are not moving. Look at the Dow Jones right now. We're not going anywhere. We're kind of just going more so sideways. Essentially, what I do at this point is I mark the highs. Where are we kind of at right here? Mark the lows. Once we get out of that and see more of a trend, that's when I'd be interested in it. Yeah, and it's more so just looking at the broader, higher time frames. Like right now, I am interested in ES and NQ just because they're up near the highs, looking like they want to get that continuation. But then it's looking through the different time frames. Seeing is a setup there that I really like where I can see that overall continuation play out. If not, then I just don't have interest. For me, my interest still remains lower. I mean, at least for 11 seconds for the hourly close. 9 p.m., we have been seeing volatility in the past 2 weeks. So we'll see if this does it. But if we do push lower, I lose interest. If we start breaking up higher, I can gain interest in trading. But I just don't know how big my expectations would be. If we reject this area and go back here, I might close my broker. I'd have that little interest. ZP, it's a pocket watch. It's not like an actual wristwatch. I thought it was an actual like wristwatch. Gold finally below the open. Yeah, yeah, had it below the open for about 25 seconds. She's fighting, Eric. She's fighting. Something that's interesting though is oil. Oil is pulling back a little bit. The 4 hour is trying to reject. Daily's an inside bar, so that lowers interest. It's just hard for me to get rid of the expectation of this week just going sideways and sucking. Why is everyone talking about AP watch? The AP swatch. Rye, hang on. Wait, is that what it looks like? Hang on, let me make sure there's no bad pictures. All right, it's clean. Is this the AP swatch people are freaking out about? Because if so, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. that is atrocious. I saw some knockoffs that were like this and like this kind of. Like I saw this aspect. Oh, it doesn't show it. Can I move it? No. Like I saw fake watches like that saying that was the AP swatch. If this is it, that is a dude, why would people if people are complaining that that's like people are able to buy that and it has the AP name behind it, grow up, dude. Because that thing looks like shit. But if someone likes it, to each their own. Everyone has preferences. I know my fashion sense is what a lot of people wouldn't like. But no, I changed my mind. That is not something I would buy. The one I saw must have just been clickbait because it looked like an actual AP. That was just cheaper material. Yeah, look, Ramoy, there's already people copying the shape drastically. Apple Watch works for me. Yeah. See, I don't like the Apple Watch mainly because it would like be connected to my watch and vibrate randomly throughout the day, and I didn't like it. Unorthodox. What are we looking at? Did you say something else in the chat? Hang on. It keeps going to top chat, so I gotta make sure I don't miss anything. People thought it was gonna be a wristwatch. That's what I saw. You sent a watch link. Where? What'd you send it on IG? I'm also still watching. Like I said, my main interest is the YM if it's gonna set up and break. If ES and NQ go, it is what it is. I do not care. I build one thesis and I'll have a lot of patience. No, I don't think it allows you guys to send links. I think only I can send links. I'll show you the watch that I would buy. And this is quite literally just going to be a brand plug for me that's not a brand I'm affiliated with. Do you take limit or market orders? Market on futures? If I'm worried about slippage on futures within, and this is just my mindset, if I'm worried about slippage on futures, then the trade thesis and the overall potential return isn't worth it enough. But no, these are, if I got anything that was like remotely AP or Rolex, this is what I would buy. Because I do not care about price. I do not care that these are knockoffs wholeheartedly. But these are essentially Rolexes for 130 bucks. And this is like, that's an AP. Or no, that's a Patek Philippe. This is what I would more so get. Even though they're all technically knockoffs, I would get those over an actual Rolex. People are going to say, oh my God, they don't have value. It's $120. I don't care about it holding value, you know? But no, Lucky Fours is a company that I think would be sick. I should clip that, send it to him, and be like, hey, yo, sponsorship? That'd be sick. Watches and jewelry are for women, full stop. I'll agree to disagree with that. I like watches. I don't wear them all the time. Main reason I don't wear them is because they wear off my tattoo. I mean, you will literally see the most blue collar men in the world wearing chains. I think, like, just chains in general, yeah, I like a nice chain. I got no problem with it. Also, if you think a lot of, there's a mass amount of men that wear chains. Like hardcore Italians, chains. Everybody wears chains. I definitely wouldn't say all jewelry is for women, but you do you. Everyone has preferences. Watches are functional, unlike chains. Yeah. I used to always wear a gold chain. It did break, so I don't wear it. 4 gold Cubans on. My guy is decked out. One thing I will say is like I don't love like iced out Cubans in that sense. I don't know if that's something that I would rock. It's just not my preference. I like just a clean gold chain. And then just like a basic watch. Yeah, mine's the stuff I wear is very generic. It's nothing like flashy or crazy. Also, because I'm not spending like $20,000 on a necklace. That is just fucking delusional. By the way, guys, I did the same thing as yesterday. I yapped for a good amount of time. So that way we dwindled the amount of people on stream. You're welcome. Not even like dwindled it, but I just know people are going to hop off as I continue to talk. We are still doing the giveaway. Not yet, though. What are we at likewise? Because that is what's important here. Likewise is what matters. 145. 5 likes. That's all I'm asking. If I have to, I'll start playing Sarah McLachlan in the Arms of an Angel. Can we just get 5 likes and I'll do the giveaway? That's it. Just 5. Gold's going up though, so that's fair. It just means it's more valuable. I forgot to like. Rye, are you fucking serious? Thought you were a supporter. Guys, I'm being dead ass. We're at 149. 149. Means the dollar's weaker? Usually, yeah. It doesn't have much, like, it's not as strong of a correlation between gold and the dollar lately as it is between like the overall stock market and the dollar. You're right, Ramoy. We didn't get any jokes from Rye. But also, I appreciate y'all that are still on. I have not expected the stream numbers to be like insane this week, which they have been. I mean, we've gotten over 200 viewers every single stream for me so far in Asia, while this market has literally done this every fucking day. So I appreciate y'all sticking through it with me. Once we get through the tough times, the better times will come. But right now, they're not there. NQ does look good. I agree. Hey, if NQ is able to break above, I mean, in theory, the entire area I would kind of target would be like 280s. 280s, then 380s would be my two targets. It leans into my theory of the longs towards the end of the 4 hour. Get this 4 hour consolidation candle, look for the long later towards the later half of it. And then you get that continuation on the next candle to put us back up at all-time highs. If we do get it, I'm down to trade it. If we stay sideways, I'm sitting cash. For now, though, still sitting cash. Everyone who got cooked today could use this session. AXP, the problem with charts like today is we all know, everybody in the chat knows, there is someone that shorted right here. There is. Someone saw this little consolidation bar at the session lows. Oh my God, this is low of day. This tiny little wick break right there entered short. What happened? The rest was history. And you know, there was just some poor bastard that entered right there, and it was just the session low. Probably same thing with the top. Someone probably longed the second we broke above the open, or when we got back up here, and then that was just the high. In long ES since 418. Nice trade so far, brother. Could easily go to the highs. We here regardless. Appreciate you. The thing is, too, I know a lot of y'all are crush trades while I just sit here and watch the market while being patient. And all it is in the end, it's not that I don't like trading. It is just perspective on the market. Some people love shorter, quicker trades during the Asia session. I like being in the trades that I can enter and just not do anything. I think Trump visiting China, so maybe some action towards the end of Asia. Are you telling me to start full porting the China names? Let's take a gander. Oh, these look rough. Poor Alibaba. I remember this when this thing was fun to trade. Baba to PDD. Ooh, PDD got slaughtered. I think someone said Billy the other day. Yeah. These names don't look good. Noedo, you found this stream with ChatGPT. Is this your first time here? That is fucking sick. Also, if so, then I have some explaining to do because I'm not Rake Trades. I'm Ron G. I'm not even the star of the show. Do you find it? Dude, yeah, I gotta know what was. Did you just look up trading streams? Appreciate it, brother. So Noedo and anyone else who may be new here, And also, this is why we say to like the fucking stream, guys, because it gets people like that into the stream. So with the stream, and in a second, I said I'll do the giveaway. We passed 150. I'll do it. Give me a second. Let me explain. What we do is this is the Rake Trades Network. Rake is the New York session guy. You'll know him once you get to see him. You'll know. He trades 8:30 a.m. to like 11 or 12, basically whenever he decides to stop. Then we have Mitch does the intraday session. Jake's like the main guy. As to the most profitable trader on YouTube, and this popped up during my stream. Coincidence? Think not, guys. No. So Jake, yeah, Jake's a fucking legend. But this is his show, all self-funded by him. And the goal is to build just an overall network. It's Project 365 because our goal is to do it 365 days for the year. After that, as long as we still have people supporting, we're going to keep doing it. We ain't going anywhere. We don't plan to go anywhere. Top 30 traders. He was the only one with a channel. Hell yeah. But Jake, he goes 8:30 in the morning till 11 to noonish. Mitch is like 12:30 to 1:30. Christian is 2 to 4. I'm Asia, which is 7 to 9. Technically 9. I go to like 10, sometimes 11. Really depends. And then we have Alan, which does pre-London. So 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. Eastern. We run all times of the day, basically. Someone's on every time. We all have the same core foundation with our strategy, but we've all implemented things to it. Alan will do a lot of like 1R, but also he'll have higher R percentage trades, but he trades a lot of VWAP and sometimes EMAs. I trade a lot of like multi-time frame analysis, like mid to high time frames, and just trying to hold trades a lot longer versus shorter trades. Yeah, we stream all day. We stream total like 12 hours a day. I'm saying 12 because it's supposed to be 10. My average is probably over 3, and Jake's average is probably over 3 as well because me and him have problems, and we don't like to end stream. Blame Alan for missing the morning sessions. Fair. Yeah, dude, the one day I saw Alan had problems starting stream yesterday. This dude called me at like 1:05 in the morning. The one day I go to bed before 3 a.m., Alan has a problem with stream. What the fuck? Every other day, he's perfectly fine. I stay up to make sure everything goes smooth. Staying up late, obviously it's me staying up as well. Everything goes wonderful. I say, fuck it, I'm going to bed early because I feel great. And the stream's not even there. It's like, all right, makes sense. Anyways, we're going to do a Take Profit Trader giveaway. Still not interested in the market yet. Have we made moves? Yes. Have we made any type of setup where it's a trade and I feel like I missed out on it? No, so I don't care. Dude, certified, literally. It does feel great because since I quit taking nicotine, I can fall asleep way easier. Who would have thought if I don't have a shit ton of nicotine coursing through my veins 24/7 that I feel better? But I can actually go to bed when I want to go to bed. We're going to do the giveaway. Those of you that want to go can go, after. Decent amount already left, but they're lost. To enter the giveaway, type. There's going to be a bot that sends a message in the chat. Once I activate it, I'll let you know. All you have to do is type ! enter in the chat and send it. It'll enter you. I'm smoking a cigar now. Own it. It's different though. I have no problem with cigars or anything. I have no problem with stuff like that. I had a Zin in my lip the entire time from the second I woke up. I would have one in within 5 minutes of waking up, basically until I went to bed. And it was just coursing through my veins. We're going to do a 5-minute timer. I have to edit this because someone turned the timer off. Don't know who keeps fucking doing it, but me and them are going to have some beef here soon if they keep doing it. 5-minute timer. Once it starts, type it and let's get going. Should be launched. Let me double check. Do a little quick refresh. Yes. Okay. If you already typed it, type it again. Man, I'm a total slave to nicotine. It's bad. Certified. I was too. I went cold turkey Saturday and I'm happy I did. I was feeling like complete shit most of the days and I was just coping it with caffeine and nicotine, an ample amount of both. But like today, when I woke up in the morning, it's the best I felt in months. Months. Normally, I'm groggy as hell, barely getting out of bed. And I sprung out of bed this morning. I was like, hell yeah, let's ride. Will I take nicotine again in the future? Probably. Of course I will. But just right now, I'm not. I think y'all broke the bot. That bot is struggling right now. Who's doing exclamation point like in the middle of this, making the bot work overtime? I'm on meth. I can't say I've done that, Jeff. Caffeine plus nicotine equals protein. Gandhi agreed. That was my thing. I'm trying to kick both too. I won't kick caffeine. I won't. I do not want to be that miserable. I've tried it. I'll minimize my caffeine consumption, but I will not fully cut it out. I enjoy life way too much on caffeine to go no caffeine. It's not worth it. The risk reward is not there. But no, elevated. I do still like Zyn. I need a break from it. Nick Salt is great. Something I'd have to look at probably. I just don't plan on doing pouches for a little while. The only problem I deal with right now is just the oral fixation of just normally having it. I don't drink caffeine. No more energy drinks for me. Colorado sober. I feel the best when I go just coffee, which I need to get back into more, and lean out a little bit with nicotine. How the F is market up with CPI shit, war going on, oil still up, and I'm 80% PPI behind as well. Jeff, I'm willing to bet, and I mentioned this early on, that a lot of the overall market conditions are priced in. People know CPI is going to be hot because oil's over 100, right? It's going to be priced in for the most part. There's going to be some point where it might break a little bit, but the market can easily go up while the numbers are still hot. It's just in the end, eventually it may crack because of it. I completely ignore all of that while the time's going on, you know? I tried to go without caffeine the other day. I had the worst fucking headache. I get that occasionally, but what I do is I'll just go the morning without it. And I'll do like caffeine, like a coffee at like noon. Cigars and coffee. Yeah, I like cigars, but I don't smoke them that often. Appreciate you, Elevated. But that's also like me quitting that. And I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it. I'm just being personal with you guys, just talking about why the last 2 days fucking sucked for me. But I just do everything on like a whim. Like I had no plans on quitting. And I was like, you know what? I just feel like shit. I ran out. Don't want to do this right now. So I'm just not going to go buy any. And then at that point, what I usually do is just be like, all right, how long are we going for? I don't know. My goal is make it till tomorrow. At some point, I'll probably do it again. For now, no plan on it. I've gone months like this just by cold turkeying it. I've also done it where I've done it for a week and then I was like, you know what? Fuck that. I'm back in. This one though, I feel like it's gonna be more than a week easily. Bro, one time I took a flight to Cali, couldn't vape for a few hours, got off the plane, got so zooted in just a few hours of tolerance, I knew I was cooked. Yep. Ramoy, what'd Burry say? Also, Burry's been wrong like the last two of his big trades. Yeah, right. The main perspective of it is I don't like something having a grip like on my life that I can't control. I really don't. And nicotine had that fully where I needed that the second I woke up. You guys have 30 seconds left. There are 71 of you that have entered the giveaway. You guys have the best odds that I've ever seen in a giveaway. I don't know why a lot of people didn't want to enter, but there are 71 in. Also, I'm going to say it before I draw it. If you have won recently on these giveaways, we ask, and we're likely going to have you have someone else be picked. We just don't want the same people consistently winning. There are thousands of you guys on these streams. We want to make sure many people can get the accounts. Yes, Ali, I know LOL because you were one yesterday, unfortunately. Sorry, brother, but it is what it is. Could be worse. We found out someone from a stream yesterday won that had just won on my stream last week. And Jake made the decision they're not getting it. So I just wanted to enter. You can enter 100%. I think the bot doesn't register all the entries. It does, but sometimes it doesn't reply because there's currently 75, and it does it on every single thing as well because it shows a lot of entries in chat, but a lot of you will completely spam the chat, so it looks like a lot more people are entering than they don't. Yeah, it enters. Usually when people have asked me to check their name in the past, it's there. With that though, I'm gonna pick. Imagine it picked Ollie again. Laugh. Sembre, have you won before? Also, if you're in the chat, feel free. The cool part is too, I can check to see who's won in the past, which I'm gonna be doing from now on just to make sure. Because we've had people win multiple times. We've only been doing this for 5 weeks. I don't see your name. So I think you should be all right. Sembre, are you here? Did you just reply? Yo, no, I haven't. Perfect. You just won a 50K TPT account. All you have to do, DM me on Instagram or in Discord. So that is going to be my Instagram. Shoot me a DM. If you have a TPT account, send me your email. Say, this is my YouTube. I just won. Send me the email. That's set up to your account. If you don't, I have a link I can send you. Just let me know where you're going to DM me. I'll send you the link to set it up. Or if you go to, let's see if this link works. If you don't have an account, does bot link going to work? Copy that link, use that, sign up to it, and then send me the email. Just let me know where you're going to send me the email, and I'll make sure to get it sent to Jake. What happens is in the morning, we will send the list of emails. Because yes, the list, we have a massive fucking list of Take Profit Trader emails because Jake keeps giving them away to send. Perfect. Send me the email. And we'll send it over tomorrow. Typically within like 24, 48 hours, you'll get a credit in your account. And then you'll be able to use that to get a free account. Control F in your name and you can find it. To find their name, be creative. Because what it looks like for me is it's on the bot that I would have to do it. Because also, let me make sure this doesn't leak anything real quick. No, it's just YouTube names. And then if I go history, does it leak anything? No. Okay. So this is how I always check. It's gonna be cool for you guys to see. This is how I always check to see like who won. I just click pick winner after the giveaway goes. This also gives you guys like a back end thing to where I can see if you guys reply, see exactly who won. And I can go here and check to see all the people that have won prior giveaways. So that's how I do it. I do this. You guys get your entries, go through it. That's how I know exactly how many people do it. There's the timer. I do pick winner and it random picks. Doxed. Good thing if I get doxed, I have 2 Wi-Fis. Fuck you, bitch. I already got a solution. Controller command type F, their name, pull it up. That actually works. So hang on. Control F. And how do I? Oh, I didn't complete it yet. Let me try to complete it and then maybe complete. Yeah, Sunbright, let me know when you're going to message me. I probably shouldn't have completed that because now I can't see when you're going to message. So I have to pay attention to the chat. I don't know. It didn't work. I'm dumb though. I got your IP pulled up, brother. You ain't got shit pulled up. My AP ain't on there. IG works. Yes. Just run wrong trades. RONG trades. Feel free to shoot me a DM. Ollie, you typed it wrong. What up, PT? How you doing? Yeah, guys. I mean, this week's been slower. There's not much to say about it. Asia session has not done much. It really hasn't. Okay, Blambo, I got you. I just saw your message. Sembre won. It's Zerk. Oh. Is it Scotty? Have we messaged before? Okay, bet. Perfect. I just got your message. We have messaged before, so that makes it a hell of a lot easier. All I do is I copy that, send it to Jake on Discord, and then you sit there patiently waiting for me to tell you, hey, you got an account. Or Jake to say, hey, any of you guys have their accounts. Once that happens, you get your account. You can keep checking for credits at checkout. So it's Scotty Bet. Now I remember. Now I know. Yep. So your emails sent to Jake. Once we have Alan's stream to go, and then tomorrow we'll go through all that and we'll send it over. I said, Tong, you did. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate the support. I don't know if I'm gonna take anything. I'm more so interested in the YM. I am. That's what I'm interested in. It has the relative strength on the 4 hour, primarily just because it's near the session highs from before. I think there's a chance we consolidate more so throughout the session. I don't know if this is going to be the entry, but I do think there's a potential entry. And I think tonight's just patience. There's going to be days I technically miss trades. I don't think today's one. There's not a single thing on this chart yet that I look at and say, oh my God, I missed this. If this goes straight up to 74.50, then I'd be like, you know what? I probably could have taken that. But for now, I'm not like over like, oh my God, I'm missing this. GC is dumping. I didn't even look at this because I would have expected it to be holding up with the indices. Oil's holding up a little bit. I think this week in general, I just have lower expectations. Because I don't trade heavy during OPEX weeks. Just because usually it's volatile. So just trade London Trend or New York Open. Bet. Be in the morning. See you next time. See you. Own it. Just subbed. Appreciate you, brother. I got work at 3 a.m., so I'm off to Snooze Town. 3 a.m.? It sounds fucking miserable. That sounds horrible, brother. Horrible. But no, I'm likely not taking anything this session. For me personally, I'd rather wait till after tomorrow's data. It's lately the New York session's been the move. London's been decent too. I haven't traded a lot of it. I'm a lot more hands off in these. When I'm trading lower size. Like today during New York, I think I made $300 on the fundeds. I haven't even touched the evals, not trading a whole lot. So we'll see what sets up. If we get towards later in the week, I have no problem taking more trades. Just lately, these sessions aren't it. NQ could have given a decent move if you bought like there and got the 100 points. NQ moved 100 fucking points. Well, okay. Take you back. There were trades on NQ. But on this, ES, I mean, it's a move. Find myself hopping on at all hours. You, me, and everybody else. Brother, you, me, and everybody else. As you're now full-time, do you have a monthly goal that you aim for? I've been full-time for like 3 years. This is my 3rd year, I think. To have my bills paid. That's it. I don't have a family I have to support. Anything like that right now. For me, while I'm still growing as a trader, my bills to be paid. As long as that's good, like that is, but that's my base that I'm looking at. And then if I make 10, 12K in a month, I'm happy, beyond happy. But for me, it's just to make sure I can live. And that's the thing a lot of people don't expect from like being a quote unquote full-time trader, right? Because people will see like Jake or Alan get 5-6 figure payouts. And for me, it's just as long as my bills are paid, because I'm not making $150 to $1 million a year, you know, I'm making enough to keep me stable, enough to where I'm happy, but I'm still working on growing that. It just takes time. Also, it takes me not being a degenerate. Unorthodox. This hat's sick. It's a Under Armour hat. I've had it for years. The main reason I have it is the sides are kind of stretchy. So it fits my big ass head. Also, to know what colorblind is like, and if you guys want to know what like secondhand embarrassment is, I had this hat on, and I have a wood like 4.5 foot tall OSU Brutus statue that was carved out of wood with a chainsaw, and I was painting it. I was fixing it up because it was weathered a little bit. And I looked at the lady at Home Depot and I said, I would like gray. She's like, what kind of gray? I said, the kind of gray that matches the front of my hat. For those of you that aren't colorblind, just take a look at the front of my fucking hat. I said, the kind of gray that matches it. It's blue. That was bad. She's like, oh. She's like, do you have trouble with like colorblind? And I'm like, a little bit. She's like, yeah, because that's blue. I'm like, well, maybe the gray that matches the back of my hat then. She's like, okay, we can do that. I'm like, thanks. Appreciate it. But that is what I mean by like colorblind. So like this blue at certain times looks grayish to me because it's more of like a grayish blue. But if it's like a royal blue or like a deeper blue, I know it's blue. But it's shades like that fuck me up. But once I know this is blue, I know it's blue. And every time I see it, I'm like, damn, that's blue. But until I know it's blue, I think it's fucking gray. So welcome to the world of not being able to see every color. But yeah, even better. Obviously, I've talked about it. This is my brother's house. He bought it. We moved in like August and we did a big remodel on it. We went color shopping for the house. Now I'm talking like we're painting every single room because we did all the painting, the ceilings, or not painting the floor, picking out the floors. We're both colorblind. And you want us to design a house with colors and accents and all that shit. First thing we did, Mom, what are you doing? We need some fucking help here. And that is why it's important to have people in your life that can see colors. Ali, we realized that in our apartment. We had tables for our living room. The legs are black, the top is a dark gray wood. The carpet was gray. The couch is gray. Most of the shit we buy, as you can tell, a lot of my hoodies are gray or black because it's the easiest thing to match colors off of because we're not good at matching colors because we don't know what colors go with what because we don't know what half the colors are half the time anyway. Is that why your candles are white and blue? Yes, that is the primary reason they are white and blue. Because when I zoom out like this with red and green, they start to mix together in consolidations like this. And this is just a lot easier for me to see. But yep, that is 100% why. There was like psychological reasons behind it as well, because I just couldn't short the market back then. But that was in like my second year of trading. I couldn't do shit trading anyway. But yeah, it was mainly just colorblind. It makes it so much easier for me to see. My brother is green red colorblind and somehow bros on the road. I'm green red colorblind, but I'm every fucking shade colorblind. If there's two colors that are close together in a shade, I'm in trouble. It's like taking a calculus test and I never took calculus. You know, it is one of the hardest things in the world for me to do is to decipher what those colors are. But no, it's like a deep green and a deep red, like a stoplight. I can see every color. I know exactly what they are. But you get me like a reddish green or a greenish red or a reddish orange or an orangish red. No shot in the slightest. I may be colorblind because from far it looks dark gray. Right. I realized I was colorblind at the age of 21. I went 21 years not knowing that I didn't know what the hell, what color was what. And the only reason I knew is because my brother was in the Marines. He wanted to be a demolition specialist and he failed the colorblind test for that. So then they were like, maybe your brother should get checked out too, because our grandpa's colorblind. For people who don't know, colorblindness is hereditary through the male gene. And it completely skipped my mom's generation. Both my uncles aren't colorblind, but me and my brother just got smacked with it. Both of us. Skipped an entire generation lineage. Me and my brother, they're like, you two, fuck both of you, you get it. Yeah, I found out when I was 21 because my brother failed the demolition test for being colorblind. That sucks, Gandhi. Let's go. I can see colors. Like I can see you guys twins. No, he's 2.5 years older than me. And yes, guys, the market's starting to move a little bit, but if the YM I'm interested in, but I know for a fact if this isn't going to be the only setup throughout the night, so I'm not dying to get in. I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm just not probably taking a trade this session. I'm cool with it. If you're not cool with it, see you tomorrow. Is what it is. For now, we yapping. No, he's 2.5 years older than me, but he looks similar. People can look at us and say, like, yeah, you guys are brothers. But yeah, and then respect to your brother, hoorah, yes, sir. Marines killing everyone's dreams. Yeah. He was still infantry. He just couldn't be a demolitionist. I'm colorblind. All I see is red P&L. So what colors can you actually see? I showed this on stream before, and I got to see if I can find it correctly. All right, we're gonna look through like colorblind things. If y'all don't want to be here for this, feel free. See you later, AXP. I'm probably gonna yap through this and then I'm done. But like this perspective right here, I can see this 6. I can see this one, and that is it. That is all I can see in this entire picture. Oh wait, I can see a 24 right here. I think, is that a 24? And I think I see the 24 there. But like these two and these two, not a shot in hell I can see that at all. Even a little bit. But with this picture, I believe this is the color blindness I have. So like this is what you see. This is more so what I see. There's just different shades that I can't see within the overall colors and the overall pictures. Oh, wait. Hang on. You can't see that. This is the one that like I see. This is what you all see. So like also when you guys see sunsets, I don't necessarily see all of the colors within that. And it's just I never can, I never be able to. I was born without it. It's something about like the cones in your eyes. I think I'm just missing one. I don't know. For me, it's just everyday life. I just know I'm gonna mess up colors. It is what it is. And it's just something you gotta live with, you know? So life is so depressing. No. The funny thing is people think I see like black and white. It's not. Damn, does it bother you when you watch movies? No. No, so like I can see colors. Like I can see red, I can see green. But it's not going to be as much of a vibrant red or like a vibrant like reddish orange for me. It'll just be like that's either red or orange, but it still looks cool. You know? Yeah, but if you give me like a greenish brown, it'll look the same. Bro's biggest op is the sunset. It's so fucking true. It is so true. Just think, the sunsets you guys see, I will never be able to picture. In my wildest dreams, I will never be able to see the sunset you guys see. That is a crazy statement, though. That my biggest op is the sunset. It is true. It's the truest thing in the world. But no, luckily I'm not like super colorblind because there's people who just can't see colors like at all for the most part. Like with that last picture I showed you, imagine this is all you see. Oh, Imagine this is all you see right here. That'd be miserable. Like, you don't even see yellow, it's just like a whitish. That would suck. At least I'm not that bad. Life could be worse. So you never seen a rainbow? I can see every color in that rainbow. What color is the top of the banner? Purple. I'm not blind, but I'm colorblind. It's more of like a shade blind. So if the banner was like a purplish blue, I would have issues with it. Where if it's just like a flat purple or like a flat blue or like a flat red or a flat green or a flat orange, I can tell. Or if it's more so flat towards that area, I can see it. But like when you start mixing in other colors, that's when it just goes out the window completely. Trying to see if there's anything here that I just don't know the color of. Like everything I own, dude, black and white. My keyboard, mousepad, black, black, wallet, black. Everything is just black, white, gray, everything. You half-ass colorblind. Fuck you, Jono. How about that? Fuck you. Yes, I'm not even full colorblind. I'm just like half colorblind. Yeah. We gotta throw down to get him. Gandhi, I've seen those. I don't know if they'd fully work or not, because I don't know if it works for like shade blind, but that'd be sick. I've thought about it. I think my brother's used them before. I'd have to look at it. Damn, dude, I'm half-ass colorblind. That could actually be a crazy insult. Like, you're not even full colorblind, bro. You're just half-ass colorblind. You can't even do that right. Bro's colorblindness didn't hit full TP. Fuck you guys. How about that? So, guys, what do you think about gold tonight? Bounce out the FVG or we going low? I would ask chat for that because FVG, I have no clue. No, I will tell you, this is my favorite chat. And this is also why I missed some trades, which right now I still wouldn't even say I missed a trade. On NQ, maybe, but I don't trade NQ often. If you took NQ over the open, that's crazy. That's already 100 points. ES is now getting to the point where it could be like a nice trade with that move. But I know there's going to be more to catch. And I enjoyed the chat and conversation, so I really don't care. And I know some of y'all caught it. It's a bunch of turtle soup. It is. But no, with the DJ, that might be one of my favorite comments I've ever had. And like I'm screenshotting it. I love that comment so much. That is all I'm thinking about now is bro's colorblindness didn't even hit full TP. It's the craziest fucking comment I've gotten in a long time. Thank you for that. Thank you. Yeah, with gold though, it's just overall for me, it's just looking at structure, seeing what happens. FPGs, I got no clue, dude. What do I want on gold? I wanted this 4 hour to consolidate for a while. It's done that for 13 more minutes is what I want to see it do. Now we can kind of look at the 4 hour on the indices though. Here's the thing. While NQ did make technically a larger move, to be honest, if I had noticed how much NQ was actually moving, I might have been interested in trading it. I had no clue it was actually moving 100 points because I was focused on ES and YM. YM has moved 43, and it is twice the size of NQ. ES on this last leg moved 13 and a half. Normally, if it's moving 13 and a half, you're looking at NQ maybe 60 points, maybe 70. No, off that move alone, NQ's up 100. Off the whole move alone, NQ's up 180, almost 200. If I saw NQ was making that, I might have been a little more interested. But I just was neglecting NQ. All right, I'm out of here. Have a good night. See you later, Ollie. Yeah, I'm likely wrapping up too, just because I don't think there's anything to do. Still went the full 3 hours on stream, because why not? Even if we don't take a trade, we'll run the 3 hours, even though we're not supposed to, but we are. Appreciate y'all being here. I think it's a solid time to wrap it up. Great conversations. Funny ass comments. You guys are on one lately, and I enjoy it. But I don't expect a whole lot of people to be staying this long. Appreciate you, those of you that did. I'm getting at the point where I can't talk at the 3 hour mark. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. We're going to call it a night. Alan is back on at 1 a.m. Eastern. London should give some good opportunity. If it's there, Alan's likely going to hit it. He shouldn't have problems with stream today. It's already preset, so we should be good. Jake will be back at 8:30 in the morning, and then we just restart the schedule. Bro got roasted today. Yeah. Sometimes it be like that. Sometimes it be like that. When I'm rich, I'll buy you the AP swatch wrong. I got you. All $230 of it, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, Joe. Anyways, with that, I will see y'all tomorrow. Y'all have a great rest of your night.